Alright, hello! Hello! It's been a while. Hello, everybody. Let me just unmute here so I can check. Let me just check how loud this is. It sounds pretty good. Let me just... Alright. It's been a while. I took a week off because of school assignments and also because I was just generally feeling burnt out. But we're back! Today was originally gonna be the IDV stream, but surprise, maintenance is today and not yesterday, so we're gonna be forced to switch gears here. Yeah, failed connect to server. Gosh darn you, IDV. Perhaps after stream we can load into IDV real quick to spend some roles on the Persona 5 collab. But yeah, today we're just gonna continue chapter 5 of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. As for the rest of the week, tomorrow we'll hopefully we'll have no scheduling conflicts, and we'll be wrapping up in Stars in Time. Besides that, so next week we'll probably have a lot more streams, because I will not have as many assignments and I will not be as busy. But yeah, let's get to it. Let's get started. Bum, 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 bum. It has certainly been a while, but I think I remember what's going on. We just called in Mr. Eggert Benedict. Oh, right. We got the box. We got the box. So this is the article in question, is it? A small box deposited with the pawnbroker by Mr. McGilded 2 months ago. And on the night of Mr. Windibank's murder. The only item on the shelves that was touched by whoever broke into the shop.
Quick, quick! Let's open it and see what's inside!
Alright, what's in it? Oh, it's a music box! Oh! Good gracious! This is no ordinary box, it seems. Yeah, it's a music box. So why did someone touch this, then? Wow. Although, in truth, I had an inkling that might be the case. It would appear that the box houses a miniature music box movement. Ooh. Hi, Graydon. What's up? Then, is it too much to expect? I think it would be reasonable to assume that it is a device for the playback of this disc, my lord. Alright. It's gotta be like Morse code or something. Like, absolutely. So here we have the means to play back Mr. McGilded's disc deposited at Windibank's at much the same time. Not strictly correct, my lord. It was not McGilded's disc. It was the disc of his victim in the omnibus. Yeah. But why, for heaven's sake? Are we to understand that the brickmaker was trying to sell this music box disc to Mr. McGilded? They got it. They had to have been, like, exchanging information of some kind. And then the, what's his name? Thrice Fried Mason? Hang on. Yeah, the case notes. Yeah, Mason Milverton. They had to have, like, a falling out of some kind. And then McGilded was like, oh, I don't like you. I'm gonna stab you. Give me the information, please. Oh, Ryunosuke's thinking. I believe the answer will become clearer if we listen to this music on the disc, my lord. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. Yes, very well. Let the court now listen to this curious disc at last. Oh! Uh-oh, Gregson! What's up? Wait, my lord! Good grief! What is the meaning of this, Inspector? The music box and the disc are, well, they're unrelated to the case. How do you know, buddy? Is this something you're hiding from us? No need to spoil the somber atmosphere in the courtroom with some silly bit of music. Objection, my buddy! This disc may very well have motivated the culprit in this case to commit murder. Clearly, there's every chance that it's fundamentally important to understand what happened. The prosecution has no objection. Thank you, Vanzeeks, for once. But no, that piece of evidence is police property now. Oh god, buddy. Clearly, Scotland Yard has some vested interest here, but it is policy of this prosecutor to leave no avenues unexplored. And you, Inspector, have no jurisdiction here to prevent that from happening. Buddy. No further delays, please. Play the disc. It's gonna sound like shit, and people are gonna be like, oh, it's that small? I thought it was much bigger. That's totally Morse code. Are you kidding? Is this still the same trial or is this different? This is the same trial. We've been at this for several streams now. You know, Chapter 5 is usually the one trial that ties all the back, like, all of the, behind the scenes kind of things going on behind the game. Because, like, with Ace Attorney 1, it was the DL6 case, you know? This is, like, the, McGilded's, like, upcomings, or whatever word you want to use to describe it. Yeah, yep, we are still on the same trial. Okay. I'm fairly certain I have an idea of what all of this, like, I have a very okay. What on earth? That's certainly not what I would call music. No. It's just the same note playing over and over again in an irregular sequence. It's Morse code, you fools! Oh, Graydon, what are you doing? Ha 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 ha. Oh, Graydon, buddy, you're not off the hook just yet. I don't think we're that stupid. Mr. Graydon? This really is priceless. Okay, buddy, stop moving like that. After all that, the music box is broken. It's not broken! Are you stupid? Broken? It can't be, can it? Well, obviously. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the officer sent to fetch it didn't drop it on the way back to the courtroom. Well, with much regret, I feel the court must accept that this music box offers little in the way of clues. Oh, come on, guys! Surely not! Ryunosuke, please! Are you ready to move on, Council? No! Come on! Yes, alright. It does sound as though it's completely broken, but... Is it? No, it is not! It's a clue! Could this music emanating from the music box possibly be a new clue? It could be a clue! Bro! I believe that it could be relevant, my lord. Good lord! But how can it be? It's not supposed to be music! It's Morse code! It's an abomination, Council! Mere noise! I fail to see how it can have any meaning whatsoever. Judge, please use your brain a little bit. It does sound strange, I agree, but there's one thing bothering me. While Graydon stands there chortling victoriously, the inspector beside him has a rather telling expression on his face. It's as if Gregson recognizes the sound, and he's familiar with it somehow. And that's making him appear extremely on edge. If that's the stance of the defense, my Nipponese friend, answer me this. Oh! I am not at all apt with Morse code in the slightest. And I wouldn't be surprised if this actually didn't translate over to anything. So I would not be able to tell you what this sounds like. I'm just saying it's gotta be Morse code. Just what relevance do you propose this woeful chiming has on this case? It's the defense's belief that the sound emanating from this music box is not supposed to be music. Just because this is a music box, it doesn't necessarily mean the sounds we're hearing are music. Ah, he's figured. Yeah, gotcha, buddy. Look at that. That smile vanished from Graydon's lips as soon as I said it. I'm on the right lines here. I must be.
Hehe, making deductions based on how people react to what you say. You're acting just like Hurley, Runo!
Objection!
Oh, the sounds we're hearing aren't necessarily music. Well, now that you've told us what they are not, I'm sure the court would like to hear what they are. Do enlighten us, my Nipponese friend. Ooh, what evidence? Oh, wait, is this a prompter evidence? Okay. Well, surely you have an idea in mind, because if not, it will be the death of your ill-informed argument. Exactly. The music box is clearly broken. Refusing to accept that fact is pure foolishness. Well, that's what you want me to believe. They've got me. I don't know what the answer is yet.
Runo,
Okay. Slow turn. Thanks, no, hold on.
I've just examined the music box very thoroughly. And I'm fairly certain that it's not broken at all.
Yo, let's go, Iris. Really?
Really? The way it's made, it can only produce a single note anyway.
Thank you, Iris. Oh, it's manufactured to play only a single note? That's interesting. So is McGilded like a spy or something? Alright, well if the music box isn't broken, it must mean that the sounds it's producing have some significance that isn't musical. Oh! Ah! Could it be? Is that what these sounds are? Huh?
Something's just struck me, Runo. I feel like recently, in the past few hours even, I've heard another sound very much like the one this music box made.
Yeah, it's the lady on the jury with the telegraph. Yes, it's a familiar sound. Actually, Iris, I was just thinking exactly the same thing. I'm going to have to press the defense for an answer. If your assertion is that the sound produced by this music box is not in fact music at all, then what the devil is it, counsel? All the evidence we've seen so far, all the testimony we've heard. It's all pointing to one single answer now. The prosecution demands that my learned Nipponese friend presents proof now. Tangible proof of this latest, wildest speculation. Oh, okay, proof? Oh, this morning's paper which contains an article about government secrets being leaked to foreign agencies. You don't really have anything else, I think. What was this one about again? It was like on the backside. Sensational story, lower down on the front page as well. Ministry mole, classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. Tangled. Secret communication. Oh, okay, it's this. We present this. Apparently they're being intercepted by hostile nations. Communications are being intercepted, but who? Something like that. That's the question, isn't it? Looking for a nuclear widow? No, of course not. Wonder, perhaps what Lord Trunknut was talking about yesterday could be why he has Gregsy running from pillar to post at the moment. Oh! It has to be the paper then, because, like, otherwise... It's not this. Because we definitely already used this. It's not this. It's not the. It has to be the paper with the government secrets or whatever. Alright then. This could be the best chance I'm going to get to fight back in this trial. And if I'm right, it's going to join all the dots together. The evidence that explains the true nature of the sounds on this music box disc is... yeah, the government secrets being leaked.
Take that!
Take that! Today's paper, counsel. The headline is, Pawnbroker perishes in picked purse plunder. Hardly supportive of your cause. No! No, my lord, I was hoping you'd look at a little further down the page. Further down? Ministry mole. Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. Yes, this is a very serious matter being investigated at the highest level, I understand. That's why Gregson is all like, hey, please don't touch that! That's ours! I have heard that the international transmissions along supposedly secure lines are somehow being intercepted and leaked to various other countries. Hey Gregson, what are you up to? And presumably, those transitions are in the form of wire telegrams? Of course. Juror number 5, your input, please. Oh, hello. Stop. Oh, me, sir? Whatever is the matter? You told the court before that you worked at the same communication station as Mr. Graydon, did you not? Yes, that's correct. And the particular station where you work deals with government communications and newspaper reports. Oh, yes. We're not your run-of-the-mill communication station at all. Our work is extremely important. Then tell me, is this not a very familiar sound? Ah, he's... alright, let's go, juror number 5. Isn't she tapping it? You don't mean to say, is it? Yeah, that's right, madame. It bears more than a passing resemblance to the sound made by your telegraph machine as you tap it. I believe it's called Morse code. There we go, we got it. But I don't believe it. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to leaking telegrams from government departments, there could be nobody more perfectly placed than a highly skilled communications officer. Oh, are you suggesting that the music box disc? Hell yeah, I am! Contains government secrets in Morse code? Of course it does! This is Ace Attorney, baby! Order, order! Please, everyone, order! But this is high treason, counsel! Deserving of capital punishment! Too much new vocabulary! What is treason? And what is capital punishment? The sorts of words I'd half expect you to know. For our sovereign government's confidential information, hostile nations would surely pay almost any price. Yes, and on that night 2 months ago, that was the very negotiation that was taking place inside the omnibus. But in the end, the Gilded perished, and the all-important disc lay unclaimed in the pawnbrokery. My word! By the way, is this the same judge that's been in the games? No! I assume at least a century has passed. Because this is Phoenix Wright's ancestor. And this is also taking place in like 18th century London. Yeah, at least a century. Yeah, this is Phoenix Wright's good old great grandfather, dare I say. Yes, this is a very, very big prequel. More like on the origins of the Phoenix Wright bloodline, probably. But, the judge looks the same regardless of the game. I'm pretty sure, like in Phoenix Wright versus Ace Attorney, like, even the judge looks exactly the same, just in a different outfit. Yeah, it's a big, huge prequel about the origins of the Naruhodo line. Is Van Zeek's miles worth? Miles worth? I think you mean Edgeworth. But, that's what I'm guessing. If I had to guess, he's probably, Edgeworth's ancestor. Miles worth. I forgot his name. Oh, I don't blame you. I don't think anyone calls him Miles, though. Let's keep going. Whoever stole that information in the first place must surely have been beside himself with worry. Because if the disc were to be discovered before it found its way out of the country, it would reveal in a high act of treason punishable by death. So the culprit had no choice but to retrieve it. In order to do that, he would have to gain entry to the pawnbrokery illegally in the middle of the night. Because the article left behind at Mr. McGilded would incriminate him too much if it got into the wrong hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Graydon? Yeah, buddy! We're picking you apart! You think I've been stealing government secrets? Preposterous! Absolutely preposterous! So, in response to the defense's accusation, you claim complete innocence, do you? Well, of course I do! I've had to stand here in silence while that pretentious foreign lawyer has been prattling away.
Objection!
Then by all means, counter the charges, sir. Yeah, put your mouth where it is. The prosecution demands the witness testifies in response to the accusations brought by the defense. Oh, Van Zeeks wants answers too. Delighted, I'm sure. The witness is reminded that the crime under scrutiny this trial is the murder of the pawnbroker, Mr. Windibank, that being a most flagitious offense for which the law of this land sanctions a capital punishment. But the heinous act of high treason is no less serious of a crime. I urge you to bear that in mind as you testify, Mr. Graydon. Alright, buddy. Your card castle is gonna come crashing down. Oh! Huh? Oh, what? Oh, are they trying to bail him out? Guys, you do not know what is going on here. You gotta let us have a rabbit and pork here, Governor. We got things to say. I beg your pardon? Who do you think you are? Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is professional baddie. Name's Ringo Skulkin, but we ain't baddies enough to sell out our motherland. That's right. We're what they call... Look at him go. Good old Gregson. The three Skulkin brothers. Come on. Bad timing, fellas. Very bad timing. Alright, here we go. Raiden's counter. A mere communications officer couldn't possibly steal confidential government information. Besides, the sounds produced by that music box aren't even Morse code. It was some low-class brickmaker negotiating with Miss Gilded anyway, was it not? I've no relation to the man. Look, all we done is break into the gaff the other night like what you told us to do.
If we'd known there was dodgy government secrets involved, we wouldn't have touched it.
Oh, they were hired? Alright. Oh, well, they admitted to breaking and entering now. But, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Well, Mr. Dual Governor, what's up? Do I take it that you now admit to the crime? That on the night in question you did indeed gain entry to the premises illegally? And moreover, you did so as a party of 3 in collaboration with Mr. Graydon here. You guys sold him out! We did, Gov, we did! Oh, they admit to it, just full stop. Oh, he is not, like, on the box. Quiet down, please. What say you to that, Mr. Graydon? I have no idea what these 2 ruffians are referring to. You little rotter, getting us mixed up with all this monkey business? You never said nothing about no government secrets. It was supposed to be a straight-up job. And what about the geezer whose shop it was, eh? Poor old bloke didn't have to die, did he? Oh, they're ratting him out! Good! Go get him! Nice to know who your friends are. Whatever these men say, I deny the accusations. Indeed. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting this little music box to become so significant in the proceedings. However, as it has, I will admit it to the court record as evidence. Alright, there we go. So it's court record. Oh, let me see it. Alright, hello, cross-examination. Let me see it, first of all. What's this button down here? Oh!
What is it, Runo?
I've just noticed something about this music box. Oh, excuse me. It looks like the bottom of it opens up as well. Huh?
Oh, you're right! Well, come on then. What are you waiting for? Let's open it!
Alright then, here goes. There's another one? Look at that.
There's another movement on the other side.
So, does that mean you can set another disc to play back on this side?
Yes, I think so. And it looks like the 2 movements are linked together.
Huh. They're linked?
So if you had 2 discs, they would both play back at the same time.
Oh, we need to find the other disc, don't we? See how the 4 McGilded discs is in the music box the man deposited at Whitnabanks? It could be a more perfect fit.
So there's no question then. The disc was designed to be played in this music box.
Yet despite that, the sounds it produces are neither musical nor do they have any meaning. It just doesn't make any sense. Oh.
I wonder if perhaps there's more to this music box than meets the eye. Maybe we haven't discovered all its secrets yet.
Okay, so we need another disc. Do we not have one in this one was the one that we put on. So we need another disc. But this does definitively tie this guy here. Let's just press everything. So this newspaper headline accurate. Government communications are being intercepted. How could I possibly know? What do you mean by that? Any important government communications are handled by high-level officers, by specialists. General members of staff in the station where I work would never be entrusted with sensitive information. Oh. Oh no, stop! Must say something! Stop! Oh, she's gonna rat him out too! Go get him! Let me guess. Juror number 5. We regular communication station and officers aren't as lowly as you're being led to believe. A team of us are responsible for setting up and testing the telegraphs used by the ministry. And Mr. Graydon is the team leader. He's the leader?! Bro, buddy! That's fascinating. Ha ha ha! Eat shit, buddy!
Graydon is highly skilled operator. Stop. Currently in presence of idol. Stop.
Oh. So you had access to the equipment used for these confidential communications, Mr. Graydon. Well, what of it? The transmissions are always made behind closed doors, so they can't be heard. And in any case, all messages are sent enciphered. Normal employees couldn't possibly understand them. Oh no, stop! Let's say something, stop! Yeah! Keep running him out! Mr. Graydon regularly attends meetings with the Ministry technicians and the Ministry communications team. He assists them in ensuring that there are no errors in important international communications. And he's received the top prize at the Cipher Cracking Convention 5 years in a row now. Oh! That's fascinating. Buddy! Oh, eat shit, buddy! Currently in presence of Idol. Well, your idol would appreciate it if you'd keep your mouth shut. You should really pick your idols more carefully. I tell you, this lawyer's accusations are completely unfounded. Are they now? Okay. Do you even say anything? Okay. Number 2.
Hold it!
They're not? To anyone with a brain, that would be blatantly apparent on listening to that music box for even a few seconds. Of course, of course. Surely it can't be that my learned friend is unfamiliar with Morse code. Well, considering this is 18th century world history, I don't know if, like, this is popularized, right? Ouch, he looks genuinely shocked at my ignorance. Huh.
I'd be more than happy to demonstrate the basics for you, sir.
A lesson? Here in court? Morse code is a continuous series of 2 distinct tones. Tones, you say? Yes, a short dot and a long dash. Ah, there it is. By combining those 2 in different ways, you construct letters. I see. For example, this is A. Oh, she's actually typing it out! And this is B. But when you listen to the sound produced by this music box, you only hear one tone, don't you? But it sounds so similar! The rhythm of it is the same in everything! But there's no discernible meaning to this apparently random sequence of sounds. So your assertion is fundamentally flawed. This is not Morse code. It's gotta be, bro! There's another side of it! There's an underside! Oh. Okay, buddy, laugh it up now. We'll get to the bottom of this sooner or later. You really shouldn't be so surprised. What did I tell you? That music box is nothing but a worthless piece of scrap. Then why'd you interact with it, buddy? Perhaps you might consider studying your subject matter more before casting aspersions in the future. Stop. Nothing to say but stop.
Oh, it's so frustrating, isn't it?
Iris?
I mean, if the government secrets were somehow being leaked using the music box, so many other things would slot into place so nicely.
Huh? Could there still be something I haven't considered? Would it really be impossible to use this music box somehow to play back Morse code? We're gonna have to leave it now though, because we don't have a second disc. We need a second disc. The defense will concede that the music box is irrelevant, for the time being. For the time being? Such optimism! Too debonair to defeat, Harvey. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna admit defeat to you! Those gesticulations are really starting to grate.
You can't be Morse code unless it has 2 distinct tones.
Perhaps I should examine that music box in a little more detail. Well, we already did, and we don't have another music box disc! I'm gonna wipe that smirk off your face! I'm gonna cave your face in! Some low-class breaker negotiating with McGilded anyway, was it not? I have no relation to the man.
Hold it!
Alright. So 2 months ago in that omnibus, McGilded killed the brickmaker and stole the disc. Mr. Mason was a single man with almost nothing to his name. It seems he lived in an artisan's quarter some years ago, but the people there remember little about him. That doesn't make much sense though, does it? How would a humble brickmaker come to acquire secret government information? How indeed. Oh, you're smirking. You know something. There must have been somebody else involved behind the scenes in all of this. Somebody who acquired the disc and gave it to Mr. Mason. in order to take it to the meeting with McGilden and negotiate a deal. Dear me. You may have it in for me, sir, but I assure you I have far more class than that. An old brickmaker from an artisan quarter and this well-to-do communications officer. If only if I could find some evidence to link the two of them together. Do I have any evidence that links them together? Mason Milverton. Do I have anything that links them together? What's your full name? Ashley Graydon. I don't think I do. If you have nothing to add on that note, let us return to the witness testimony. Look, all we've done is break into the gap.
Hold it!
Okay. Like Mr. Graydon told you to, you mean? Huh? Oh, real Matt Angard. Thank you for following. Wow, Matt Angard. Oh God, Matt Angard from Ace Attorney. No way. Thank you for the follow. Hope you're having a good night and enjoy your stay. Right. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Who else, eh? Silly me thought we was just popping over for a natter after all them years, but the rotter and dodgy job for us. Oh God. Oh, I said that complete with like incomplete cadence. Silly me thought we was just popping over for a natter after all them years, but the rotter had a dodgy job for us. Oh, that's... Oh, okay. I understand. I understand. Ash? Oh, he's ignoring you. Let me stop you there, Mr. Skulkin. After all them years, you say? After all them years? Do you mean to tell me that Mr. Graydon is an acquaintance of yours? Oh. We're the sociable kind of baddies, you know? Sure, let's say Graydon's an old china. Huh? Oh, what you got?
Excuse me.
Excuse me, what you got? Is something wrong, Mr. Skulkin? Eh? No, the other one. No, the other Mr. Skulkin. What? Who, me? When your brother was testifying just now, he said something that seemed to cause you to react. Oh, I was just remembering the old days, that's all. They were accomplices? They used to have a right or left together all way back then. Oh, that's why they keep doing like the triple pose, because they're expecting someone else to join in. Oh. Together? With Mr. Graydon, you mean? Yeah, with Ash, I mean. You look at him now and his fancy whistle and flute, you wouldn't Adam and Eve it. But when he was younger, he was from the poor part of town just like us. Oh. Hey, lawyer dude, I think that Scotland Yard dude killed someone. After all, he gives Sholves competition. I have no clue. I'm going into this completely blind. I have no clue what that statement means. Well, he was always a leery one. He had the brains, he had the savvy. Always coming up with smart ideas like what would ever have gone through our heads. Cool, blimey, ain't that the truth? Remember Milverton and Skulkin Milk Run? Milverton? Did he change his last name? That was a corker, eh? Save it until after the trial. Your reminiscing has no place in this courtroom. And neither does your fruit. Oh, holy, the geezer asked us a question, didn't he? Oh, well, if we was answering. Yeah, we ain't done nothing wrong. That seems extremely important. Nevertheless, the court is not prepared to accompany you on your trip down memory lane. Counsel, can we turn our attention back to the testimony, please? I don't know. Could that sentimental story be relevant somehow? Add it to the testimony! Add it to the testimony! My lord! Yes, counsel? The brother's last sentimental statement could hold vital information relating to this case. Yeah, go on, add the name. Very well, counsel. I will permit the brothers to supplement their testimony with that detail. Briefly, I hasten to add. Go on! Say no more! A skulkin's never skulkin'! Alright, so what statement is it? Milverton and Skulkin's milk run. Gore, them were the days. Let's press this real quick. I'm sure I'm going to regret asking, but what exactly was that? Some kind of business? Just a little scheme we had going back when he was youngsters. A bit of fun, really. Delivering fresh milk to the locals. That's what it was all about. Oh, they were just giving people milk. They were just delivery boys. That sounds alarmingly legitimate. There must be a catch. I suppose since we're here, I should ask them to elaborate. But on what? Oh, the business name? So this business was just a bit of fun, you say? And it was just yourselves and Mr. Graydon involved. Well, they got fruit. Yeah, that's it. Milverton and Skulkin's milk run, was it? Yeah, that's it. And where did the Milverton part come from? Oh, then, yeah, okay. Alright. I thought it could be clogged while you have worked. Oh! Oh! Enough of this. How much longer are we expected to listen to this drivel? I don't... Yeah, shut up, buddy! You changed your name, didn't you? Let me guess. You don't accept anything these two witnesses are saying. Tell me, why is it that it was only at the mention of the name Milverton that you decided to interject? Because well... It weren't the happiest of homes that one came from. Yeah, his old man was struggling for money so much, his wife walked down on him. She took the name Graydon then, see? But Ash will always be Milverton to us. Ah, there we go. Milverton. So that used to be your surname, did it? Of course not. This is all bunkum. I've been a Graydon ever since I was born. Do you really think you can rely on the testimony of these two thieves, You're a communications officer attached to the civil service. As such, your personal details will have been thoroughly checked at the time of your appointment. It would be a very simple matter indeed to symphony those records, Mr. Graydon. Oh! Well, it would appear that Mr. and Mr. Skulkin testimony has been reliable, for once. You were born Ashley Milverton, then. Oh, so he does have a connection to Thrice Fried Mason. Related, are we? Is that correct? Very well, yes. So Ashley Graydon was once Ashley Milverton. That information could change things. It could turn out to be extremely important. Oh, Ashley Graydon's personal profile has been updated in the court record. His last name was once Milverton years ago. He's a childhood friend of the Skulkin brothers. Alright, buddy. All of a sudden, we seem to be up to our necks in a serious matter of national security. Although all this talk about interception of secret government secrets is still just conjecture at this stage.
It would explain a number of things, though, wouldn't it? The negotiation Ginny overheard on the omnibus 2 months ago and the break-in at Windibanks. But the trouble is, it wasn't Mr. Graydon in the omnibus with Mr. McGilded.
No, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker who was so horribly murdered. So, is he doing this for revenge, then? Against his dad? Well, not against, but like for his dad?
If only if there was some link between the two men somehow.
I know. Oh, we got it! We got it! We got it! We got it! Gonna make headway with the cross-examination here. Could be those two brothers. Of course it is. Alright, buddy. You've got no relation to the man, eh? Do I present the case notes or... Well, I mean, I guess this is the only thing I could present.
Objection!
Objection, buddy! Mr. Ashley Milverton? Tell me, why do you try to hide your former name from the court? Because I haven't gone by that name for years. It means nothing to me. No, I don't think that's the real explanation at all. The truth is, you had a reason to hide that name. Yeah, you do, buddy. Explain yourself, please, counsel. I have here the notes from the omnibus case, my lord. And as we all know, the victim, the man who we now understand have been negotiating with Mr. McGilded. Yes, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. That's right. Only Mason wasn't his surname at all. It was his given name. His full name was Mason Milverton. Milverton? Yep. Get got, buddy! Do you mean to say saints alive? Mr. Ashley Milverton. Is it not the case with that brickmaker, Mr. Mason Milverton, was your father? I don't. As I believe I mentioned earlier, your family history will have been thoroughly checked when you join the civil service. And it really would take no time at all for the court to subpoena those records. Yeah, buddy, you're not perjuring your way out of this. The truth is you have been illegally acquiring highly confidential government information and selling it on Gilded in collaboration with your father. Woo. Objection? From whom? This is slander! Alright. I carved a new life for myself as a respectable communications officer, as a gentleman. I have no idea what my father has been up to, but it has nothing to do with me. Are you sure? Then why are you so desperate to get it? And as I remind the court, that the assertion that this disc contains some sort of message in Morse code has been reliably disproven. No. By a professional and independent communications officer, no less. The relationship between the victim of the omnibus case and this witness is undoubtedly significant. However, the defense's argument remains somewhat incomplete, I feel. No! I believe the cross-examination should continue. Alright, so Morse code uses 2 tones. If I could just demonstrate the possibility that this could have been used to generate 2 distinct tones.
Perhaps we should have a really good look over.
Yeah, we need that other disc! Of the music box, yeah, we have! If I must, though I maintain exactly what I did at the start of this pointless cross-examination. Okay, it's gotta be in here somewhere, I feel like. Can I just, like, is it under this? Are we just, like, a couple of dumbasses? Sound, isn't it? The movement. I bet Ashley has it? Oh, I don't doubt it. But there's no way we're gonna make it cough it up, is the thing. So strange, all the 2 are exactly the same length. This one doesn't have a bloodstain? I'm pretty sure this is the one that had the bloodstain on it. Because it has for Mr. McGilded on the back. I'm pretty sure it's the one, but hang on, I'll check again. Is that surely... Can I... Okay, no, this is the same... Yeah, because there's another side. Zero. Another movement. 2 discs. Is it like in here somewhere? I thought that there would be a second movement on the other side of the box. This movement is like the other one. The comb's teeth are all the same length. So this movement is also tone like the other one. And that's too, except the length of the teeth on the 2 combs isn't the same. So the single tone produced by this movement will be different to the single tone we've already heard. Oh, there's 2 pairs that are exactly the same. These produced are different. Can we just put the other one in here? We should put, I wish I could put the bloodstain one in. But it looks like this one is kind of in there for the long run. Yeah, because this one has McGilded. Can I stick this one in? It's not. Do I just have to be like, give it a try?
Hold it!
Hang on, let's press him again. I thought I didn't have anything to present on this one. But I guess we just need to examine it. I thought we needed the other disc first. Okay, yep, short dot, dash. Okay. Hey, Ryunosuke, have no fear, have no fear, have no fear. Let's try again, let's try again. Save it, stop. Yes, nicely. Give it a try. Oh, is it just we give it a try and then we just flip it around? There's still every possibility that this music box was instrumental in the leaking of government secrets. That's the belief of the defense, at least.
Objection!
Does it please you in some way that my Nibonese friend to repeat the same line of argument in infinitum? It's already been established that to be Morse code, 2 tones are required, dots and dashes. Yes, I'm well aware of that. Then what? Well, it would appear the defense has a hypothesis to put forward. Whoa! You had better present your idea at once, Counsel. Oh, okay. I thought we had to, like... How do you propose that this music box, which appears only to produce a single tone, could have been used to cipher secret messages into Morse code? It's on the other side! Open it up! Notice something about this music box. Yeah, open it up, open it up! Okay, it was just how does it do it, not like show us that it is able to do that. And on the other side, insert another disc to play back this. Yeah, we have to sit through this dialogue 3 times. That's my bad. Oopsie. Play back at the same time.
Got it!
I have to present this. Good gracious! What am I looking at here? Another movement on the other side of the music box? What? Ah, gotcha, buddy! It appears, my lord, that the 2 movements are linked together. In other words, you can put 2 discs in this music box, and the sounds of both will play back at the same time. Good heavens! As the court has heard, Morse code comprises of 2 tones, a short dot, and a long dash. With a second disc in place, this music box could be used to generate Morse code and convey a message. Yeah, gotcha, buddy! Spin around! The new facts and evidence unveiled by the cross-examination of this witness all come together to reveal the truth. The truth, you say? That you collaborated with your father, Mr. Mason Milverton, in illegal dealings with Magnus McGilded. By dint of this music box, you mean, Counsel? Yes, stealing information being sent in secret government communications and selling it on to Mr. McGilded. Mr. Graydon concocted this elaborate scheme of using 2 music box discs to encode the information, as presumably a safety measure against the information falling into the wrong hands. And a very effective one. I shouldn't have given this scheme any credence whatsoever. But the deal with McGilded went sour, and the brickmaker met his end. Yes, but before he was arrested, McGilded managed to temporarily dispose of the stolen disc at the pawnbroker. Then, having learnt of the situation, you appeared at Windibanks 2 days ago. Gotta go, but I'm leaving stream open. Have fun solving the case. Okay! Have a good night, one! Thank you for dropping by! Thanks for having you in chat. In an attempt to recover the 2 articles McGilded had placed in pawn there. Ooh. That attempt failed. One of the discs was seized by the police, and the other, you never found. So that same night, You enlisted the help of the Skulkin brothers and broke into the pawnbrokery. This time, determined to recover the second disc. Are you suggesting that the second disc was inside the music box? Huh? Wait, we never knew nothing about that! For these poor guys, they just got strung along! On the night that Mr. Windabank was killed. Yeah, you tampered with it. The intruder to the pawnbrokery touched one item and one item alone, the music box. As rather ingeniously demonstrated, but using the two prints from the security camera, indeed. So the question that naturally begs answering is this. Why was only that one article disturbed? The answer is obvious, because it contained the second disc, which the intruder was desperate to retrieve. Since, if it were to fall into the wrong hands of the police, it would be proof of high treason. Caught you red-handed. Oh, Mr. Graydon. Do you deny that all this actually began on that fateful night 2 months ago? Oh, his shoulder! I refuse to accept any of this nonsense. Oh, his arm's bleeding! Hey buddy, what's up with that? Sir. There appears to be blood seeping through the sleeve of your jacket. What? What? 2 nights ago. We know that the reshots were fired at the scene of the crime in Windabank's pawnbrokery. Yep, one on the poor guy. One took the life of the pawnbroker himself. One struck the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the final bullet struck the calendar on the wall of the shop, having first pierced an arm of one of the intruders. Mr. Graydon, that wound on your arm that you seem to be trying to hide, it's a bullet wound, isn't it? Yeah, I gotcha, buddy. Easy on you now, me old China.
Time to call the quits and croak, I reckon.
Yeah, there it is. Don't acknowledge my presence there under any circumstances whatsoever. Those were my terms, remember? And I paid you handsomely to comply. Clearly, I was a fool to think I could trust some common backslum thieves. Well, you're a one, too! Fine, I admit it. I was there in Windabanks that night. I paid this pair 10 guineas to accompany me. And as you've noticed, I sustained an injury in the course of my adventures. But that is all! I admit to nothing more! Stealing government secrets, negotiating with Mr. McGilded. There he goes. As God is my witness, I am sure I recall nothing of the sort. It's not going down without a fight. Not until I can show hard evidence, I suppose. Oh boy! Nevertheless, the defense now has established a crucial fact. Which is... Well, we know that one bullet was fired from each of the 2 firearms we have in evidence. The bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun hit the pouch around Mr. Schultz's waist. And the bullet from Mr. Windabank's gun clearly must have been the one that caught Mr. Graydon on the arm. Indeed it must. We can rule out the possibility that the man shot himself. Alright, buddy, where's your gun? And that leads us to only one conclusion. Mr. Windabank was shot by a 3rd gun, which can only have been fired by the 3rd intruder. Goodness! Yeah, there we go! That's right, Mr. Graydon. Ugh. The only person who could have possibly shot Mr. Windabank that night is you! Come clean, buddy. Oh, he's laughing. What do you got? What do you got? You little upstart! You made a grave mistake when you summoned me here. What? What's that supposed to mean? Yes, as you rightfully say, I was there at the pawnbroker's. I did my best to hide the fact, naturally. I had no intention of ruining the distinguished career I built for myself at the communication station. But did the thought never cross your mind? Did you never consider the possibility? What? What do you mean? What thought? What possibility? The possibility that if I were there at the scene, I may have witnessed the crucial moment. You see... This makes me a key witness in this case, and I have my hands firmly around the neck of your client. Okay, well, if you were a key witness, then, like, if you're trying to incriminate someone else, then why would you not just testify, you know? Why make this go to all this trouble? What? Are you suggesting? I saw it all. I saw the very moment the pickpocket girl pointed the gun at that poor defenseless pawnbroker and shot him. You... what? No, there's no way. He is pulling things out of his ass. Order, order, order. Well, it would seem that we are finally entering the last act of this theatrical trial. Mr. Graydon. Yes? I trust you are fully aware of the implications here. If it is shown that your claim is false, you'll have incriminated yourself as the killer. Well, yeah, it's all or nothing at this point for him. If he doesn't, then he's going down. So he's trying to take someone else down instead. Oh, I understand fully. Then I must ask you to give your formal testimony once more. You'll explain to the court precisely what you saw the moment the defendant allegedly shot the victim. Okay. Nothing would give me greater pleasure. Okay, moment of shooting. While these ruffians were jostling with the broker, I was still near the entrance to the shop. When Windham threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door, though. The accused in a black coat shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety. I saw the blood splatter all over that wretched girl. Then she tossed the gun out of the peephole, so I picked it up and made my escape. No, she didn't! What? She was not covered in blood in the slightest, are you kidding? Good gracious, this is quite extraordinary testimony. You claim, sir, under oath, to have clearly seen the defendant pulling the trigger. Oh boy, oh boy. It wasn't my intention to testify in this way. But neither is it my intention to be found guilty of a murder I didn't commit. Oh, you definitely committed it! So you see, my hand has been forced. I tell the truth now as an act of self-preservation. You could have just told it from the start! The truth? Until now, the prosecution was completely unaware of these details. Yes, well, sorry about that. Having shot me in the arm, the pawnbroker was then shot in the back of the accused. And as I said, she was showered in his blood. You say the blood splattered over the accused's coat. Are you sure on that point? Oh yes, quite sure. All over the black overcoat that pickpocket girl was wearing at the time. Ha! Really? If her coat could somehow be shown to harbor vestiges of blood, that would be conclusive evidence here. Such an investigation is entirely possible, my lord. What? Only very recently, a German scientist has developed a technique to identify human blood. So here's the true science, not some amateurish detective's dubious foray into the world of chemistry.
Oh, there's nothing dubious about Hurley's work. His ideas are all sound.
Ideas are no use to us here. In science, as in law, theories must be proven before they stand. Oh, in Germany, the technique has already been employed in the courtroom as the basis of evidence. Scotland Yard has a small quantity of the chemical reagent used. With your lordship's permission, we could shatter all vestiges of doubt within minutes.
This doesn't look good, Runo.
Why not?
Well, we know, don't we? That there's blood all over the front of Ginny's coat. If they test it with their chemicals...
Oh, yeah. Hope you're right. I was forgetting what happened yesterday. Well, they're gonna check and there's blood, but it's not Gina's. It's McGilded's.
Don't move, Ginny. I'm going to shoot.
Yeah, it's Milverton's blood. But that's not Mr. Windibank's blood. That stain is from 2 months ago. That Mr. Mason's blood, from when he was stabbed by Mr. McGilded, who's wearing the coat at the time. My lord, the defense objects to the test proposed by the prosecution. We can't really do that. Overruled. Lord Van Zieks, make it so at once. With pleasure, my lord. And while we await the results, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Once they find that blood on that overcoat, Gina will be... Counsel? Yes, my lord. Your cross-examination. Of course, my lord. If this cross-examination doesn't go well, if I don't manage to uncover some decisive evidence or a really compelling clue now, I have a very bad feeling about the outcome of this trial. Oh boy! The moment of the shooting. Alright. As we're jostling with the broker, I was still near the entrance to the shop. When the man could now show for the counter, I felt the sharp pain in my arm. Pursued the man, but he shot himself in the storeroom. See what the people. Safety. Let's splatter all over that rich girl. And she tossed the gun out of the people, so I picked it up and made my escape. Why would you pick it up?
What's your feeling, Reno?
Not very good. As much as I hate to admit it, I don't see any obvious holes in his testimony at the moment.
But you have to find a way to break this man.
And quickly, too, because once they discover the blood on the overcoat Gina was wearing...
It's a bit strange that he's so sure of himself about seeing the blood splatter over Ginny's coat. It doesn't strike me as the sort of thing you'd claim if you hadn't genuinely seen it happen.
But we know that Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windibank, so what's going on?
All I know is that it's very unfair. Why should some German scientist's test be acceptable as evidence when mine and Hurley's wasn't? Detectives can use test tubes too.
Oh, never mind that. I have to find a really stark inconsistency in this testimony somewhere. And I have to find it before the prosecution discovers the bloodstain on Gina's coat. Oh boy! Okay, shoot the man. Safety. Let's batter over that wretched girl. Kind of out of the peephole. Wait, what peephole? There is no peephole. Wait, what peephole? Did I hear you correctly? She threw the gun out of the room. That's right. After the broker fell to the floor, she started walking over. Over where exactly? In the direction of the storeroom door, to where I was watching. Of course, I quickly retreated. And then, the girl dropped the gun through the peephole onto the floor on my side of the door. But why on earth would she do such a thing? Also, how did she do such a thing? I couldn't tell you. Perhaps she was hoping to distance herself from the murder weapon. Without thinking, I went and picked it up. I suppose I was worried about just leaving it there in case any more tragedies took place. So it was you, in fact, who took the third gun from the scene of the crime. Yes, it was yours truly. I left the clear-up test to my lackeys and left. Clear up? We made a bit of a mess around the counter, so Mr. Whistle and Flute here told us to tidy up. He thinks he's our bloomin' mum sometimes. Well, I was paying you enough, by God. Tell me, Mr. Graydon, when you left the pawnbrokery that night, was it by any chance with the second disc in your jacket pocket? Ooh. You're like a bull like... Oh, what's happening here? here! Gregson, what are you doing? Gentlemen. What happened? We were getting strangled. Something wrong, Sunshine? That should be my line. You do realize you were just violently shaking Mr. Skulkin. Well, I mean, this D's a bit of a hooligan, ain't he? What was going on just now? You saw him? He grabbed me whistle. Well, the blazes, I said. It didn't mention that they're gone when we got you down to the station. And why didn't you? 'Cause we don't know nothing about it. Or that flaming people in the door. Sorry about that. I can be prone to losing my rag sometimes. Not hurt, are you? I feel like that was more than just losing your cool. Oh, blimey. See the way he's looking at me? I'm telling you, this D gives you the willies. That was strange. The inspector doesn't normally get quite as worked up as that. He wouldn't normally grab someone.
No, that wasn't like Grixie at all. He's normally all sweetness and light no matter what I say to him.
I think that's just with you specifically, Iris. Yes, well, I think you might be a special case, Iris.
Well, anyway, that was definitely out of character.
Oh, Gregson. Oh, we learned nothing from that. Okay, we have to press everything, I guess. Free and fair. Okay. Yeah, okay, I guess we just press everything.
Hold it!
Mr. Windibick emerged from the storeroom, I believe. Okay, I'm gonna, give me 1 second, guys. I'm actually gonna grab water real quick, just so that we survive. Give me 1 second. Alright, I'm back. I'm back after a quick water break. I just had to chug a whole water bottle real quick to rejuvenate my throat. Let's continue. I think for press stuff for now, unless if it's like super important, then I think I'm just gonna read it normally. Because we are really close to the end of this trial and I want to see it through to the end. And I can't really do that if my throat is dying in a ditch. So let's continue here. Alright. Storeroom, I believe? Ringo and Nash were scouring the counter when he suddenly appeared and flew at them. Here. He had the revolver in his hand. Fortunately, I wasn't too close. I've never been so scared in all my life. Yeah, we just do regular mild-mannered burglars, that's all. We don't like violence. But you guys have a gun. Says the pair who carry a gun. Yeah, exactly! What do you mean when you say you were near this entrance to the shop? I was in the doorway, running my eyes over the shelves of forfeited items. Looking for the music box, of course. The broker went for Nash in the first place. Then Ringo joined in, making it 2 against 1, so I assumed they could just handle the situation. But I was wrong. I was trying to help my little bro, but the old geezer chucked me over the bloomin' counter. So I pulled my gun on the old fella, and that's who made him Scarper. The pair of you setting killing Vincent's pawnbroker together? Shame on you. Yeah, shame on these two. Exactly. Sorry, Gov. Anyway, when it makes me Nash up the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. Alright, we're just gonna press everything. I mean, that's the moment you were shot? Yes, though I didn't immediately realize what had happened, of course. Things crashed from the counter as 3 men were brawling. It was at exactly that moment it happened, so I didn't hear the gunshot. The bullet went on to strike the calendar in the wall behind you. So it would appear. When I looked at my arm, I saw it was bleeding badly, so I wrapped my handkerchief around it. Seeing as I couldn't explain what had happened to a doctor, I had no choice but to wait for it to heal. I didn't imagine it would still be bleeding 2 days later. Well, yeah, that's what wounds do! Mr. Windham intend to shoot you, do you think? Well now, I don't imagine he even noticed I was there, to be honest. Perhaps the gun went off accidentally. Anyway, it didn't quite strike home. They pulled my gun on him, he tried to shove me out of the way. And they scuppered for that door out back. At which point, what did you do? Shoot the man. Yeah, what do you mean by peephole? There was no peephole there, was there? I mean, you chased after him? I don't recall the reason why, but I ran after him to the back of the shop. What about this peephole in the door you mentioned? Well, unsurprisingly, the storeroom's door is a solid job. Made of stout wood. Huh. There from the outside. Actually, I should know that, shouldn't I? I looked through it myself that night. Yeah, you did. And what about you burgling brothers? Did you see what went on through this peephole as well? Not likely, Gov. Didn't see nothing on this arc, Gov. I doubt these two buffoons are even aware of the people's existence. So the Cook brothers were there, but they didn't see the killing of Mr. Windabank take place. Inside the storeroom, I could see the broker and that young girl standing there. The defendant? Yes, though neither of them noticed that I was looking. I raised my gun and pointed it straight at the man. And what did you see next? So, okay.
Hold it!
As the crime was discovered, defendant was found with a gun in her hand. But that was Mr. Windabank's gun, from which only a single bullet had been fired. And as we've already established, Mr. Graydon, that bullet was fired at you. Ah, but no, it wasn't the broker's gun that the pickpocket girl had when I saw her. It was the bullet from Windabank's gun grazed my arm. Second, this was another gun entirely, a third gun. A third firearm involved. In other words, the accused must have had her own gun with her at the time. But no other gun was found at the scene. Ha 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 ha. Calm yourself, counsel. Sorry? Please consider the events in order. At first, I saw the punk worker, they were glaring at each other, but then all of a sudden, the worker turned to run, and it was at that moment that the little gutter rat shot at him in the back. Chilling image, I must say. Spatter all over. How did you see the blood spatter all over her? Yes, through the people. I saw it clearly. Of course, the stains are invisible now, with the coat being such a dark color. But I assure you, that garment is sullied with the victim's blood. It's not Windapink's blood, though! It's Mason's blood! Well, it is sullied with blood for sure.
It's not Mr. Windapink's blood, is it?
No, that's right. And Mr. Mason, Milverton's blood from when McGilded stabbed him 2 months ago.
It's so annoying. If only they'd accept Hurley's chemical analysis, we could prove that.
But they won't, so unfortunately, we can't use it as evidence to support our case. Brother. Bother, I mean not brother. Oh, uh-oh. My lord, requesting your lordship's permission to interrupt the cross-examination. Explain yourself, officer. I have the results of the test that was ordered earlier, my lord. Ah, the blood on the accused's overcoat. Uh-oh. Thank you, officer. Very well. The cross-examination is hereby temporarily suspended. I resume you have no objection, counsel? No, my lord. Uh-oh. Alright. Well, there you have it. The report, please, Inspector. So why are you covering for this guy? Yes, sir. Traces of human blood were found on the overcoat of the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. From the extent of the stains, it would appear that they were the result of splattering following a gunshot wound. Whoa, no! It's from a oh my god! Gregson, you bitch! I'm going to strangle you! Goodness me. Oh, the Skoken brothers aren't up here. Oh, why is that so smooth? This guy does not deserve all these animations. See, what should I tell you? No, the blood on that overcoat is not Mr. Windabank's. What on earth makes you say that, counsel? The coat originally belonged to Magnus McGilded. Just before his coat was deposited at Windabank's, Mr. McGilded had fatally stabbed Miss Milverton. So the blood on that overcoat is the blood of the brickmaker from the omnibus case.
Objection!
Well, the dead cannot speak. Isn't that right, my Nibonese friend? Oh, they're not gonna believe us because we don't have any evidence. That's right. Sorry. 2 months ago, in this very courtroom, did you not argue fervently for McGilded's innocence? Well, yeah, because we didn't have all the pieces. And now that the man is dead, you brand him as a murderer. Your conduct shatters any shred of respect you may have earned for yourself in this country. But that was... I call it a bally disgrace. Treachery, that's what it is. Guys, come on! You guys gotta recognize that we didn't have, like, I don't know. How to determine whether the blood on that coat is months old or not? Even a stereoscope couldn't help the answer to that pop out. Can't be done. But, what? We used Mr. Sholmes' specially formed chemicals. Mr. Sholmes is a detective, not a chemist. Would you put such faith in chemical formula devised by me, for example, when I'm a communications officer? Oh. I held out Plotsky to starving boy, and he ran away crying. Herlock Sholmes is barely more than a figment of the public's imagination. His name carries no weight in this courtroom. No weight at all. How could you say that? Victory is sweet indeed. This proves that my testimony is the whole truth from start to finish. No, it is not! How do you arrive at such a conclusion, sir? As the witness said, the accused's coat was splattered with the blood of the victim. The only way for Mr. Graydon could have possibly known that fact is if he saw it happen. In other words, his testimony is solid, and the conclusion is singular. It was the accused who shot the victim in this case. That is the whole truth. No, it is not! He's lying! He definitely bartered with Gregson or something, because he was like hushing him. My lord. Been a long battle, this one, but this old warhorse has something to say now, if you please. Mr. Foreman? As of this moment, sir, the squadron has reached its final decision. No, you guys haven't. No, you guys haven't, I swear to God. Ready, men? All for one now. Sir.
Guilty.
Oh.
Guilty.
Uh-oh.
Guilty. Guilty.
Uh-oh.
Guilty.
Guilty.
I really appreciate that doctor just using his whole forehead. Come on, guys! Well, it would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached a unanimous verdict. Oh, oh, come on! Okay, we gotta turn this around somehow. The defense has consistently failed to unpick this witness's testimony. Here's to any attempt you may make at unpicking the jurors' decisions being equally successful. Oh, Ryunosuke! No, it's not over. It's an Ace Attorney game. I don't believe it. After I've come so far, how is it all unraveling on me so fast? Oh no! Oh, the fade to black? Oh, how very distressing. Oh, this is totally Sherlock, isn't it? To be held in low esteem. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, this is totally Sherlock in disguise. It's gotta be. Officer, you deliver the report now. That will be all, thank you. It occurs to me with some regularity, Mr. Naruhodo, that scientific truths are determined not by science, but by none other than the human mind. I know that voice. Yeah, it's Sherlock. Am I going mad? Pop. Oh, there he is! Bro's disguised! Mr. Sholmes! What is the meaning of this? Look at him with his leg popped up. Order, order, order! What business do you have here, detective? The last I heard, you were recuperating in hospital. As well as I would be, had I not been set upon an errand. What errand?
Harley, it's really you! You're awake at last!
Yes, good day, Iris. I appear to be rather late to rise. My apologies. Now, my lord, if you will humor me. What manner, sir? I have something of great importance that I wish to give to the young lawyer over there. I need no more than 5 minutes. Would you be so kind as to spare us the time? What say you to this, Lord Benzeeks? Come on, Benzeeks. This trial has taken many hours of the court's time, having spent so long already. Exactly! Having spent so long already, we don't want to go wasting any more precious time. As I was saying, having spent so long already, it would seem churlish to deny the defendant some mere 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, Benzeeks. Oh, Gregson! Greg, he's got something to hide. That's what I'm trying to say. Very well then, counsel, you have 5 minutes. Thanks, Sherlock! Sherlock! My dear fellow, I apologize for my tardy arrival. Mr. Sholmes, are you alright now? Ah, ha ha ha! Alright, I'm all wrong! Sorry? I've only just managed to summon the strength to stand, man! I asked the judge for 5 minutes. But I feared that even may be too much for me. Pray forgive me should I pass out. Oh no! Let's make this discussion as short as possible.
Harley, this place is full of idiots!
None of them can see how wonderful your chemical blood analysis is. Oh, well, that concoction of mine was really just a bit of sport to assist me in my investigations. I never took the trouble to refine it for appraisal by the scientific community. An oversight on my part. Right. Modesty? Surely not. But enough of that. I'm here to give you this, my dear fellow. What's that? A lavender furoshiki wrapping. A living present from Miss Susato. From Miss Susato? If possible, matters were to be settled without giving you this. Those were her instructions when she asked me to do her this favor. I don't understand. Miss Susato foresaw today's events, I believe. She knew that the culprit would attempt to escape justice by both devious and underhand, and that you, Mr. Naruhodo, fighting fairly as you are wont to do, would find yourself in a considerable peril. At that very moment of crisis, you were to be given this small parcel. Those were the dear lady's instructions. A leaving present from Susato-san. Whatever it could be. Oh! It's the cat flapper maker, isn't it? Huh? Wait a minute! Oh! Didn't the knob have like a flower design on it? I remember they showed it. It had a wait. Oh, wait! Was that made recently? Oh, that was totally made recently, wasn't it? Oh, was that made before or after he was murdered though? That's the issue here. What is this?
Oh! It's the machine I made.
Oh. Yeah, the cat flap maker. Hello, Wagahai.
Look! I use this! It's my latest invention!
What is that?
I call it the Cat Flap-O-Mat. It can make a cat flap for little furry friends like Waggy in seconds. What's Susie up to?
Oh, she made it, didn't she? But we don't know if that was before or after the murder is the issue. Miss Osato muttered the following words before she left. I'm a failure. I don't deserve to be a judicial assistant. What? Did she say something like that? You really are the best judicial assistant in the world.
Well, that's extremely flattering.
But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure. Oh no! Whatever does she mean by that, Mr. Sholmes? That night, when you left Windibanks in pursuit of the thieves, Miss Susato made use of this contraption for a certain purpose. That is your answer, dear fellow. Oh! Oh, she made it! Okay, so after the thieves left, she made the peephole. Oh, did she wanted to check on Gina, didn't she? Or like, yeah, through the because the people wasn't enough. Susato-san used this cat flap-o-mat that night, but why? Alright. Entered into the court record! Your 5 minutes is over. We're out of time already? Alright. I'm grateful for your affording us that brief recess, Mr. Reaper. I need no thanks, Detective. After all, the die is cast. Is it really? The jurors are unanimous in their leanings. No doubt my learned friend will consider a summation examination. But any attempt to alter the verdict now would be utterly futile. I wonder... Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes?
The rest is down to you, dear fellow. What is your plan? The rest is down to me. I need to be careful here. If I make a wrong move, the trial will end. Badly. Ooh, uh-oh. My lord, the defense requests... Ooh, uh-oh. I don't think a summation examination is not it. If we are given more time to think, then that's not it either. It has to be further cross-examination. Further cross-examination.
Objection!
The jurors have spoken. Protocol dictates that you may not cross-examine a new witness now. The defense is not asking for the cross-examination of a new witness. Rather, to continue with one of an existing witness. What? Oh, it would appear that a rather important detail has escaped your attention, Mr. Reaper. Oh! He asked for an interruption. My lord? Requesting your lordship's permission to interrupt the cross-examination. He's still in the middle of it. Thank you, officer. Very well. The cross-examination is hereby temporarily suspended. I presume you have no objection, counsel? Yep.
So nobody can say anything then. If Bruno asks to resume his cross-examination of Mr. Graydon...
The court is obliged to allow it. This is absurd! Yeah, take that damage! I would remind those present that this is my courtroom. I concur that the defense is entirely within its rights to request the continuation of the cross-examination. However, I will not permit an unremitting protraction of these proceedings. Therefore, I have decided to afford the defense one final opportunity in concluding the cross-examination. Okay. Oh boy, okay. Counsel, you must choose but one statement from the witness testimony, and but one piece of evidence to present in support of your argument against it. Oh, a single chance to present evidence? If, following that, the situation remains unchanged, I shall move to education. Oh god, words are hard. Is that clear, counsels? You will not press the witness any further. My lord. Yes, my lord. Oh boy! A single statement and a single piece of evidence. Most generous. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's high time I fall in a dead faint. Huh? I leave this in your capable hands. Oh, there he goes! Oh, thank you, Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes! Oh, that was so good! Thanks, Mr. Sholmes. Just stand so in. Oh god, what is that word? Insocantly before the court in a state of such high fever. Either the man has extraordinary strength of mind or an extraordinary lack of feeling. I imagine he's feeling very little now. The detective is sleeping soundly in one of the antechambers. Strike a man when he's down, why don't you? Well then, counsel, are you fully prepared? Well, we gotta be. Yeah, go Ryunosuke! You can do it! Okay, do I have to examine this at any point? Oh, well, I can see it. Oh, there's like blades and stuff. And like those where the hinges go. I can't actually interact with anything on this, though, it looks like. Alright. Yes. One statement, one piece of evidence. I won't let Mr. Sholmes down, or Iris. Alright, we got this. And I won't waste this final chance that Susato-san has given me. This is going to decide the entire outcome of the trial. Then, under the terms I have outlined, you may resume the cross-examination. Cross-examination! Just one thing. Ooh! The music! Oh, this is the final showdown. Heading through Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door, though. But I'm pretty sure that peephole wasn't there when Windabank was killed. This is where we present it. Oh, I'm gonna save just in case, though. We've got one chance left. Oh, this is such a banger, actually. It has to be this.
Objection!
What on earth is that eccentric contraption, counsel? Oh, it's my cat couple, my lord. It makes way for cats to get in and out of a room. It can cut through any door you can think of, and make a new door in the middle of it.
That's right, my lord. It's a device for creating so-called cat flaps. Small doors for cats to come and go as they please, without their owners having to open the main door. I'm sure we can all work that out for ourselves.
Huh.
But that cat lover's controversy has no possible relevance to this case. Oh, really? Of course it doesn't. To start with, there was no cat flap in the pawnbroker's door. Not being a keeper of cats myself, I'm afraid I fail to see what this has to do with the matter at hand. Perhaps it would help if I described its function another way, then. This contraption is able to create a peephole in any door you can imagine in practically no time at all. I beg your pardon? A peephole, you say? 2 nights ago, We arrived at the scene only minutes after the murder of Mr. Windibank had taken place. That's right. According to the paperwork at the yard, it was you, your Japanese assistant, and Cholmes. Yes, the three of us were together, and it's recently come to my attention that my assistant made use of this device at the time. Your assistant did what? There was a peephole in the storeroom door. I can attest to that. Because I looked through the peephole myself in order to see inside the locked storeroom. This is ludicrous. What are you trying to say? Oh, that door wasn't there when you were there, buddy. Of course there was a peephole in the door. I said as much as in my testimony. How else could I have witnessed the crime for pity's sake? Yes, how could you? What? Counsel, kindly say what you mean. Alright, it's time. Time to strike the final blow. What I mean is this, my lord. My assistant made the peephole in the storeroom door, and until such time as she did, the door had no hole in it to look through. What? No! Yeah, get got, bucko! Oh, you can see him go back to his pose. That's cool. This is a farce. Are you really suggesting that the peephole in the door was... Yes, it was created only after the incident had taken place, by my judicial assistant, using this device. My assistant tampered with this crime scene, whilst being fully aware of the gravity of her actions. That is the most serious act of vandalism, for which I humbly apologize, my lord. It was in the few minutes that I left the scene in order to pursue the Skulkin brothers and alert the police. Nevertheless, in the light of this new information, it becomes apparent that Mr. Graydon's testimony is riddled with holes. Yeah, riddled with. Explain yourself, counsel. The majority of Mr. Graydon's testimony that appears to incriminate the defendant is based upon what he witnessed through the peephole in the storeroom door. Yes, that filthy girl shooting the man in the back. However, if at the time of the incident, that peephole did not exist yet in the door, there's no possible way that you could have seen what you claim to have seen. Yeah, buddy. In short, your entire testimony is a pack of lies. Ugh. Order! Is there any credence in this revelation?
Objection.
Oh, you're about to be like, oh, that contraption is worth nothing. None whatsoever, as my learned friend must surely realize. Exactly. This is some cheap trick designed to discredit me. I'm afraid not, sir. Of course it is. Do you seriously expect people to believe that plaything can cut through a solid wooden door? Oh, why don't you see it in action?
Oh yes, I designed it to be very powerful. It can cut through even the toughest of doors.
That's absurd. I don't believe it for a second.
Haha, I had a feeling you'd say that.
What?
Maggie, Huey, time for dinner.
Oh, she made one in the courtroom door. Hello, Wagahai.
Well,
Oh, young lady, this is the Old Bailey. One does not make cat flaps in the oak paneling at the Old Bailey. I'm not done yet, don't worry. This doesn't mean that the people in the storeroom door at Windibanks was made by your machine. And there's no way you can prove that it was.
no, but it's easy.
What?
The cat flaps my clapapomat creates are all a fixed size, and the dimensions of the people at Windibanks are an exact match.
Oh, you're fumbling. It's crashing all down, buddy.
Hehe, old Silky's lost for words.
Excellent work, Iris. Thank you. And now it's my learned student's friend's turn to be lost for words, I feel. Huh? I believe your judicial assistant has already left the country for your Eastern Island home. Well, yes, that's true. And you may have some difficulty in establishing all of the facts. For the sake of argument, let us assume that the peephole has dimensions that are a perfect fit for this contraption. In that case, when was the peephole cut? The prosecution demands proof of your answer. Oh, well, we have it. We have the proof in the photo. It wasn't there to begin with. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is 1:30 a.m. And this is right before. It's not there. Ha! It's in the evidence that you gave me, Van Zeeks. How foolish of you! What is the purpose of your line of inquiry, Lord Van Zeeks? It's very simple, my lord. The defense argues that the peephole was created after the incident using this device. But now that the perpetrator has returned to her native land, she cannot testify to the fact. There is no proof. And as for long as the defense remains unable to prove when the peephole was made, my learned friend's claim amounts to nothing more than a baseless accusation. No, we have the proof! Ryunosuke, don't go what and throw yourself across the room. We have proof! Is that... Indeed, that is so, Lord Van Zeeks. Well, counsel?
Don't give up now, Runo! This is the time to create your own opening and force your way through! Hell yeah!
I don't know if I can do this, but I do know one thing. Susato-san is the greatest judicial assistant in the world. Yeah, she is! Very well. The counsel for the defense will present evidence to support the claim made. Proof that the peephole of the door in the door windowing storm was created after the event and not before is right here, buddy.
Take that!
What are you? A print from that detective's infernal cameras again. My judicial assistant, Miss Susato Mikotoba, is an extremely intelligent and capable woman, which is why I never had any cause to doubt that she would have considered the scenario and made sure I had the necessary proof. And the necessary proof is in this photographic print, counsel. Yeah! This print shows a scene in the shop moments after the defendant entered the premises. There's no people over there! And it also shows the accused mercilessly wielding a gun in the direction of the defenseless broker. But more to the point, it pictures the storeroom door in the background. Let me see that print again. Yeah, there's no hole there. I don't believe it. This really is quite remarkable. The door to the storeroom is completely devoid of a peephole in any description. Yeah, eat your ass, buddy! Mr. Graydon, you couldn't possibly have witnessed the crime as you claim to have done, because at the time it happened, there was no peephole in the door. Ugh. In other words, your testimony is a catalog of lies. Eat shit, buddy! Oh, where's your breakdown? Yeah! Order, order, order! I am satisfied that the defense has substantiated its claim beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness's testimony was entirely fallacious. That's not the only thing we know now beyond all reasonable doubt. My learned friend's assistant's guilt can no longer be denied. The woman tampered with the crime scene. Well, she didn't do it intentionally. Stop pointing fingers over here. This isn't the crime that we're discussing right now. But more importantly... Good lord, there's more, Lord Van Zeeks? The defense may have established a reprehensible instance of perjury. But that is no proof that this man is the victim's killer. Yes, that's right. No, but his entire thing is false! Like, if it... Okay. What do we have to do here? I was there at the scene. It's true. And I was shot in the arm. It's true. But that's all. Oh, you look a little worse for wear, buddy. Yes, in fact, if you look at the circumstances, I am the victim here. Oh, you are not. You are not. Are you kidding? I don't believe this. But they're right. As it stands now, I don't have any definitive proof that he is a culprit.
Still, he can't worm his way out of it now.
Iris?
You know what they say. There's no point in locking the cat's door after the cat has bolted.
Yeah, he can't shut the door on the lies he's already told.
Isn't that right, Runo? As Hurley always says, one lie begets another. No, wait. That might have been a line I wrote for him in one of my stories.
Oh? Well, no matter who said it first, you're right. Mr. Graydon, not only did you give false testimony to the court, but the lies you told make no sense. Make no sense? What do you mean by such a remark? Oh! How did he know that there was a peephole if he bolted to begin with? It had to have been... Gregson had to have informed him when they were hushing behind the scenes. What you said in your testimony reveals that you know something you shouldn't have known. In other words, there's a fundamental inconsistency in your statements. What?
Objection!
This is provocative talk, counsel. Won't you enlighten the court? Explain this alleged inconsistency. Iris was right. One lie begets another. The inconsistency is revealed by the lies in the witness's statements. They show that Mr. Graydon had knowledge of something he shouldn't have known about, namely, the peephole. The point is not that you lied in your testimony, Mr. Graydon. It's the nature of the lie you concocted that is so revealing. You're not making any sense. But let me ask you a simple question. How is it, Mr. Graydon, that you knew of the existence of the people in the storeroom door? What? Well, obviously, Oh, caught ya, buddy! Caught ya! Has the got your tongue, witness? The people in the door was made after the incident occurred. And once I returned to the shop having failed to catch the two burglars, Scotland Yard's investigators arrived immediately. Since that time, the police have been at Windowings constantly carrying out their investigation. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson? Well, yes, of course. The place is chock full of pawned articles and my lads have to thoroughly examine them all. You also gave information to Graydon in the middle of the thing! So I gave them the order to have officers working around the clock and shift so we get through it all. And consequently, there's no way that you, Mr. Graydon, could have gained access to the shop. Yeah. Therefore, you should have known nothing about the people in the storeroom door. So the fact that its existence forms the basis of your testimony is completely inexplicable.
Objection!
Alright, Vanzeeks, what you got? And yet, the fact remains that Mr. Graydon did maintain that he witnessed the crime take place through the people in the door. But that's completely unfounded now, because it didn't exist during the thing. How on earth is that possible? Oh! Can I have a word, please, for Vanzeeks? Oh, you brokered a deal with him, didn't you, for the other music box disc? Speak, Inspector. It's just that I really ought to be getting back to the station now to put in my report. There's really nothing more I can add to this testimony, so if it's all the same to you... Oh, he's trying to bail out. He's trying to get out of here. Permission denied. Oh. It's not all the same to me, Inspector. Not at all. You will remain exactly where you are until this trial concludes. Of course, sir. Resigned to your fate now, are you? Mr. Graydon. You shouldn't have known about the existence of that people. Which can only mean that you must have been informed about it by someone else.
Objection!
Yeah, during this court, in fact. Just during this case, in fact. Stop there, my learned friend. You realize, I trust, that the words you just uttered have extremely serious implications. Excuse me. Yes. But the defense believes that the details about the case that Mr. Graydon claims to have seen must have been revealed to him by a certain person before his testimony. And, in fact, considering a particular clue we have, there's really only one person that could be. Who is the person in question, counsel? It has to be Gregson. Who gave the witness the details of the crime scene to facilitate his false testimony? It has to be you!
Take that!
The truth is, it can only have been you, Inspector Gregson. Me!
Objection!
You had better have some proof to substantiate such a rash claim, my learned friend. Consider the fact that we have only been aware of Mr. Ashley Graydon's identity for the last few hours. We have learned of it only during the course of the trial today. Indeed, preparations for his testimony were made with great urgency during our hour-long recess, while the police executed the sophenia and brought the man here from the communications station. And until that time, Mr. Graydon would have had no idea. No inkling that he would suddenly be required to appear in court. Yeah, so he couldn't have gained that information beforehand. It had to have been given to him by Gregson. Are you suggesting that until such time as he was summoned? Yes, my lord. Until then, it's reasonable to assume he knew nothing of the people. It was only once Mr. Graydon was in the stand that he realized his position, that he would have to defend himself against the accusation that he was the third intruder. You're suggesting to the court that it was while his trial was in progress that he received the information, so that he could commit perjury in order to save his skin. Yup, exactly! And we have the person who did it! Exactly. And the only person with knowledge of the investigation that he had any contact with is you, Inspector Gregson. This is a bloomin' outrage! Why would I be giving away details of our investigation to this fella, huh? Well, you were whispering to him behind the stand! I summoned him to his lordship's chambers during the recess in any case. Had you forgotten that? Quite true. I had a number of questions regarding the events that transpired at the pawnbrokery. Which means... the first time these two laid eyes on one another was after proceedings resumed for the following recess. Since then, they've been in full view of the stand, where such illicit discussions couldn't possibly have occurred, except they did!
I just remembered something, Bruno.
What is it, Iris?
There was one time before, wasn't there? I think it was when Ginny was testifying.
Oh, yes. Now that you mention it. When the bailiff was dispatched to retrieve Miss Gilded's music box from the scene of the crime. That's it! It was during that testimony. Yeah, they were whispering. I remember finding it strange at the time. They were whispering. Mr. Graydon and the inspector seemed to be having some kind of secret discussion. It would have been possible for you to give Mr. Graydon the information he needed then. You little toe rag! You're making this all up! I'm a respectable Scotland Yard inspector, for crying out loud. Why did I do something like that? It was for the music box disc. Why'd I be giving away confidential details to the likes of this bloke? Admittedly, you wouldn't have had any reason to do something like that for no gain. But perhaps... it was part of a deal of some kind. Then it starts to make more sense. Considering how desperate he was for the disc. What deal, Counsel? I wonder if perhaps, in exchange for the details about the people at the crime scene, Mr. Graydon agreed to give a certain something to the inspector. Ah, gotcha, buddy! I'm sure I need not remind the inspector that if found to be true, striking a deal of any kind with a witness would be considered a gross case of... oh god, what is that word? Malfeasance. Well,
Objection!
It's been coming clear that jumping in with accusations is this Nipponese student's specialty. I don't do that. But with the stakes so high, the prosecution is not prepared to listen to baseless charges. It is incumbent on the defense now to present evidence in support of this diabolical claim. Evidence? Just what are you proposing that the inspector demanded of the witness in return? The court must see proof of this alleged deal. It's the disc! It's the disc! It's the government secrets! If Inspector Gregson really did strike a deal with Mr. Graydon, then logically, there's only one thing he could have asked for. That must be it!
Bruno, do you think it could be...
Yes. It's the missing link that would join all the dots together in this puzzle. And now, Counsel, what evidence explains the nature of the alleged deal that Inspector Gregson made with the witness? It's the music box disc, baby!
Take that!
Inspector Gregson! Besides this murder, is it not true that you've been working on another very important case? What? What are you getting at now, Sunshine? Is it possible that this other top-secret case is what's alluded to in this newspaper article here? The classified secrets being leaked overseas from the Ministry of Justice. How the bleeding Nora could you? We discovered, during the course of this trial, that the music box deposited at Windibanks by Magnus McGilded. A special music box, designed to play 2 discs at once. It would seem very likely now that encoded on the pair of discs that were in Miss McGilded's possession are the leaked classified secrets. Ooh. So I put it to you, Inspector, that in order to recover the second of the discs containing those secrets, you covertly made a deal with Mr. Graydon in which you exchanged the disc for details of the case. Yeah, you little... Order, order, order! On the day of the incident, when we met you at Windibanks, you said this. I'll be taking whatever it is of McGilda's down to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over.
No, don't! Don't give it to him! It's mine, that is! Mine!
I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGilda has to be taken in as evidence now. Yeah. Scotland Yard already knew at the time, isn't that right? That Magnus McGilda was involved in the stealing of government secrets. My orders were, recover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry, and do it on the QT, strictly hush-hush. And that explains why, when I presented this disc as evidence to the court, you objected so heavily, I presume. Because you knew that it contained highly confidential information. Blimey, not likely! I mean, I wasn't sure of it myself! I realized there was a possibility, that's all. Inspector, surely. Sure, you're not saying that in order to acquire the second of these music box discs, you indeed reveal confidential details of the crime scene to the witness? I'm, like, 90% sure that's illegal! To aid and abet this man in giving false testimony! There's no other way that Mr. Graydon could have known of the existence of the people. It's the only explanation. A deal was struck between these two men. No! Yeah, eat shit, guys!
Objection!
If, and I stress if, this sobering assertion turns out to be founded in truth, it would mean that the second disc is, as we speak, here in this very courtroom. Oh, one of the brothers has it, doesn't... Oh, it has to be Nash! Cause he was, being threatened by Gregson, like, just now. Wait, what? In this room? How could you possibly make a claim like that? Because Inspector Gregson is a Scotland Yard detective. What? What's that supposed to mean, eh? As a seasoned policeman, the inspector will have approached this alleged deal with caution. Certainly, he would not have accepted a gentleman's agreement in this matter. No, he would have insisted on having the article agreed upon in the palm of his hand. Oh, he has it with him right now! Good gracious, then, you mean to say... Inspector Gregson already has the item in question in his possession? He has the second disc actually on his person?
Yes!
Oh! The defense demands that the inspector is searched at once.
Definitely! They could only have struck a deal with each other when Ginny was testifying before. And Grexy hasn't moved from the witness stand since.
My lord, please, order an examination of his personal effects immediately. Well, Inspector? Oh, he's gonna deny it. This young lad wants to tone down his imagination. He's insulted me in my profession quite enough. However, if it'll put this matter to bed and dispel any doubts about my involvement, then I'll happily submit to a body search. What? He's going to agree to it? I presume you're aware of the precipice on which you now teeter, my learned student friend. You made a most serious allegation against Scotland Yard here. No, it's not the inspector. It has to be someone else. That's why he was threatening Nash. If, following the search of the inspector's personal effects, no disc is found, you will be deemed unfit for court service. This trial will end, and my country's government will formally demand that you are severely reprimanded. That sounds serious. Indeed. To have a visiting student make such a defamatory remarks about our country's most senior police force is not something Her Majesty's government will be able to overlook.
You're just threatening Runa because you're scared.
The accusation is beyond serious. You must be prepared for grave consequences. It's true. I can't imagine Gregson would have accepted a gentleman's agreement for something so critical. The disc must have physically changed hands, which means the inspector should have it. But somehow, something doesn't feel quite right here. Oh, very well, counsel. You know the implications, so let me ask you one final time. Yes, my lord. Do you still persist in formally requesting a search of the inspector's personal effects? Search someone else! We have to search Nash! That's what, cause... Ooh. Yes, the defense formally demands the search be conducted. Well, don't say you weren't warned, but your typical Nippony soberness may well land you in hot water this time. Perhaps the lesson will do you some good. Fair enough. I've got nothing to hide. Did I not select search someone else? Bailiff, conduct a search of the inspector's personal effects, please. Oh, there we go. Oh, thank God. I was scared. The defense demands a search, but not of Inspector Gregson. What? Now what's all this? I'm the one you're accusing, aren't I? I thought you wanted to search me. No, no, Inspector. Not you. Somebody else. What's the meaning of all this, eh? Lost it at last, have you, Sunshine? The court shouldn't have to put up with this nonsense. You're being completely irrational. No, I don't think so. I think there has to be a reason why you were strangling Nash. Quiet, all of you. Oh? Oh, Iris! Bruno's doing what you all told him to do and having the courage of his convictions. So you should respect that and listen to what he has to say in good faith. Because that's the British way. Well said, young lady. Indeed, this court is on all of the defense counsel's conviction and eagerly awaits his next words. What? Now don't be hasty, my lord. Oh, now he's fumbling. Because he knows the disc isn't on him. If I'm not mistaken about the things I've seen in court today, I'm fairly sure that I know who has the disc at the moment. There's only one person it can be. Yeah, it's Nash. Counsel, of whom do you request the search now? Has to be this guy, Nash.
Take that!
Of my lord, Mr. Nash Skulkin. Well, I never. Eh? Blimey. Me? Him? I love these two. These two are great. Very well then. Bailiff, restrain the witness and conduct a thorough search of his personal effects. Oh, he's objecting now. Please, my lord. Inspector? Scotland Yard, has to object to the search.
Objection!
Thank you, Vanzeeks. Unfortunately for you, Inspector, your objections carry no weight here. Eh? In this courtroom, only the prosecution and the defense have the authority to object. But Lord Vanzeeks, I have no idea what forces are in play that might influence your actions. But personally, I have no intention of obstructing the course of this trial. Yo, let's go! Finally brought you along, Vanzeeks. Bailiff, carry out the search. Hi, buddy. No, hold on, Mo. I don't know nothing. Oh, you snatched it, didn't you? Nothing about no disc. Cut it out! Here we go. Here, my lord. In the witness's pocket. I found this. There it is. Good lord, that's another music box disc. I don't know nothing about it, nothing. Graydon, you're in hot water now. That is the second music box disc left behind by Magnus McGilded. Is it not, Inspector Gregson? Ugh. Yeah! Goodbye, buddy! Order! Mr. Skulkin! What have you say to yourself? Gordon Bennett! Just Gordon Flamin' Bennett! I swear I didn't know nothing about that disc! Honest to God! I just realized I was using the wrong voice, oops. Counsel, would you please explain what is going on in here? The alleged deal that was struck between this witness and this detective, no? Without question, my lord. Then, for pity's sake, why on earth was this man in possession of the disc that the inspector traded for information? Inspector Gregson is a shrewd, calculating man who rarely loses his composure, but at one particular point in this trial, he exhibited some unusual behavior for a brief moment. I don't recall. What unusual behavior? Did you not see him strangle a poor guy? It was, yes, during my cross-examination of Mr. Graydon. Tell me, Mr. Graydon, when you left the pawnbrokery that night, was it by any chance with the second disc in your jacket pocket? I admit to nothing of the sort. While Mr. Graydon answered my questions, the inspector appeared to have grabbed Nash Skulkin by his coat and was shaking him violently. Yeah, he did it all! Thought me noggin was gonna fall clean off, I did. Well, yeah, and I pursued him too! I was wishing I'd been born as me brother, I was. And what exactly happened to make the detective attack you like that? I ain't got a clue! He just suddenly turned and grabbed me, whistled like that, and started shaking me. Why the blazes didn't you mention the third gun when we got you down in the station?
That's what he said.
Yelled it right down my ear, he did. Me head's still throbbing now. The way the detective behaved then was extremely out of character. Looking back now, must have been then he did it. That was the opportunity Inspector Gregson created for himself in order to hide the disc! Oh, he planted it on him! Oh, bless my wig! He hid it? You. But I'm afraid I fail to comprehend the motive here. If the detective had acquired the disc he was after, why on earth would he proceed to hide it in another man's pocket? This is a court of law. He could have submitted the item as evidence. It would appear, my lord, that the inspector was not at liberty to do that. Why ever not? As the man himself revealed earlier, his current assignment has some special conditions. Yeah, it's all on the down low. My orders were, recover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry, and do it on the QT. Strictly hush-hush. Hush-hush? A top-secret assignment, is it? As far as we're aware, the information stolen comes from confidential government communications. It would seem that if information were to be revealed in court as evidence, it would be problematic. Does that sum up the situation, Inspector? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I'm operating under direct orders from the Ministry. I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to answer that question. So, realizing there was a chance you may be searched here in court, you took steps to hide the disc you had acquired from the witness. Does that mean? He only pretended to attack Mr. Skogan in order to get close enough to him. To slip the second disc into his pocket. So it was all a pretense? It was! Gregson! Well now, Inspector Gregson, and you, Mr. Graydon, are you prepared to admit to the accusation made against you of this alleged deal? Alright. Admit to it? Yours truly? Please. Oh, he is not backing down. We gotta strike him down with, like, one solid thing. Mr. Graydon, clearly our Eastern visitor has an uncomfortably active imagination. However, there is no proof that I passed that disc on to the inspector.
Objection!
But then, how did you explain the reason why you knew about the people? I'm under no obligation to explain. What? Yes, I lied in my testimony. That I admit, so sentence me accordingly. But that is all I admit. Murder? Leaking government secrets? Striking a deal with the detective? All of this is this young Eastern man's fancy. Didn't we literally just, like, prove all of it? I have no idea what any of this is about. You... What? Well, what about you then, Inspector Gregson? Do you admit to making a deal with Mr. Graydon in order to acquire the disc? Ladies and gents of the jury, as Scotland Yard Inspector, I will declare this and nothing more. Oh. I'm acting in the best interests of the country. Whatever I've done, it's been in the name of justice. Striking a chord in them. So as members of the public of this fine country, I'd like to think that justice will be your guiding light when you're making your decisions. Are you guys seriously gonna vote guilty just because he's like, oh no, I'm acting in the best interest? But this is about Gina! This is quite a quandary indeed. Rarely have I encountered such an extraordinary tumultuous in the proceedings of a trial. Nevertheless, in the absence of any further evidence to be presented, I believe it is time that we put the matter to the jury for their final leanings. Well now, as a fellow servant of the Queen and country, I must say I sympathize with the old inspector.
Yes, he's a dependable man, I'm quite sure.
In service, one becomes a good judge of character. No, this is about Gina! This is about Gina, not the inspector! Even crossing your eyes doesn't help when it comes to looking at this case. It's all blurred to me! Well, as a fellow professional, I'd like to put my faith in a detective, really. Vaden is highly skilled operator. Stop! Currently in presence of idol. Stop! Were you paying attention? Detective has very much trust in eyes. More than this, I cannot say. I don't believe it. These 6 jurors are. They're going to believe Gregson. If they declare their decision now...
Is Ginny going to be found guilty?
If I don't manage to produce some definitive evidence right now, then we're going to lose. Either some proof that Graydon killed Mr. Windibank or stole those government secrets. Or some evidence to force Gregson into admitting he struck a deal with a witness. Well then, counsel? I think it's time I imposed on the jurors to declare their final decisions, no? That is, unless you have some compelling evidence you have thus far not presented to the court. Can we listen to the music box with both? We don't have the other disc yet, but I'm sure they'll give us a prompt. If I let the judge call on the jurors to announce their leanings, Gina will be found guilty.
So there's no choice then, Runo? You have to throw some more evidence at them.
This is it now. It all comes down to this. Who do I present evidence against? Gregson or Graydon? Ooh. I think we do Inspector Gregson and then present the music box. And then, like, have him play the other music disc. Inspector Gregson. There's one final piece of evidence I would like you to see. Eh? What's that then? If you refuse to acknowledge that you did in fact strike a deal with a witness here today, then you leave us no choice but to examine this piece of evidence thoroughly. Well, go on. Alright, buddy. This is my last chance. It looks like I'm going to have to force his hand here. One final piece of evidence to get this detective to admit the deal he clearly struck with Graydon. Has to be the disc. Or, not the disc. It's probably you can present either one of these and it's fine.
Take that!
Alright, buddy. If you're not going to admit to it, then we're just going to have to play it for the whole court to hear. Is that Mr. McGilden's peculiar music box, counsel? Yes, with the disc already in place, ready to play. I think perhaps now would be a good time to listen to the sound produced by the music box again. Alright, before we do though, let me take a quick break. Again, for the sake of my throat, because I want to finish out this trial. We'll be back. Give me 1 second. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about the delay. It's important to always drink water, guys. But let's finish out this trial once and for all. Only this time. With the second disc we've just discovered set in place as well. Goodness, this disc, Council? Oh, he doesn't want it. No, wait! I can't let you do that! Why not? Because it's got nothing to do with this case. That's why.
Objection.
Not true, Inspector. Huh? The defense has already proposed that the sounds heard by the court earlier from this music box were part of a Morse code message. Huh? We know that Morse code comprises of 2 distinct tones. The defense believes that the second disc contains the second tone needed to complete the message, and now we have a chance to confirm that theory. For crying out loud, Sunshine, we're talking state secrets here! If you go letting the whole courtroom hear confidential information like that, it's treason! Then do you admit to the charge? That in order to protect those state secrets, you engaged in unlawful dealings with the witness. You're mad! If you let that secret information out into the public domain, you'll be making an enemy of the entire British government, you idiot! Well, yeah, so could admit to the charge, and you go off scot-free.
Objection.
Let's not forget, Inspector, that you, a Scotland Yard officer, leaked confidential case details to a witness. That you continue to lie to the court, and all because, by fair means or foul, you have determined to do your duty. Well, by fair means or foul, I'm prepared to do mine. Don't you dare. I will stop at nothing to protect my client. I don't care who I make an enemy out of. Ooh. My lord, if you please. The court must hear the sounds made by that music box. Come on, Van Zeeks, for Pete's sake, stop him!
Objection.
Oh, Van Zeeks opposes! Inspector, you should know my methods by now. I'm a prosecutor. I'm no Scotland Yard puppet. Ugh. In this courtroom, my duty is to the law, so let me propose a toast to uncovering the truth. By fair means or foul. Yeah, he's letting us go! Let's go! No! Very well. The defense stance here and that of the prosecution has been made very clear, I feel. Therefore, in accordance with the defense's request, the court will now listen as this music box is set in operation once more. Uh-oh, buddy! This time, with the second disc in place, and both discs playing simultaneously. Alright, what secrets you got on here? Oh, listen to that. It's unmistakable now. It's Morse code! Ah, there we go. Alright, I admit it! Whatever you want, but for the love of God, shut that bloomin' box up! I think it's finished playing. Let me ask you again then, Inspector Gregson. Did you or did you not strike a deal with the witness next to you in the stand, Mr. Ashley Graydon? Specifically, did you furnish the witness with confidential case details in exchange for this music box disc? Did you reveal the existence of the people in the pawnbroker's storeroom door, Inspector? I did. Yeah, eat shit! Stop! What are you doing, man? It's all exactly like the young Eastern lawyer said. When the trial resumed after the recess, and we were stood here in the stand together, that's when you approached me with a deal. Shut up, you imbecile! Shut up! Psst, you there. You're the detective who turned up at the pawnbroker the other day, aren't you? I may have something you're looking for, Inspector. With me at this very moment. So how about a trade? I suggest you accept. Or information that may make certain individuals uncomfortable will soon be very public indeed. I couldn't let that information become public knowledge, not under any circumstance. So I accepted the man's proposal and told him details about the case that should have put him in the clear. The people in the storeroom door, and the bloodstains on the overcoat. By giving false testimony, this witness intended to have the defendant wrongly accused of murder. Inspector, you knew that! Yet you still revealed those details to facilitate the witness's perjury. I did. But then it turned out the people had only been made that night, after the incident took place. Scotland Yard wasn't aware of that, if I'm perfectly honest. Well, Mr. Graydon, what have you to say for yourself? There's nothing and no one left for you to hide behind. You struck a deal with the inspector in order to escape conviction of a very serious crime, namely this. You are the third intruder who broke into the pawnbroker on the night in question. And you perpetrated the murder of the proprietor, Mr. Pop Windibank. Oh, he's disheveled. You. I broke it! Oh, traitor! Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Gregson! Oh, Gregson! Oh, Gregson! Stop him! Guys, you need to stop you need to stop him! Bailiff! Bailiff! Restrain that man! At once! That's it then. It's all over. We did it, Ginny! I despised my life growing up. Those slums were vile places. I was cursed from birth, born into poverty, the son of a penniless artisan. My parents did nothing but quarrel all day long. What little money they had was never spent on me. Oh, he's admitting to all of it. So I set about studying, to better myself, to one day escape from that hellhole. And you eventually became a communications officer. I admire your determination. But then you decided to try to sell government secrets. Why? Isn't it obvious? Because I wanted money. Even now, years later, the nightmares of my life in the slums wake me in the small hours. I wanted to drown them out, with more money than anyone who lived in that squalor could ever imagine. And one day, I met him. Mr. Magnus McGilded. Oh. Hi there, buddy. You're a fiend with a queer talent, so you are. I have money to throw your way if you're interested. All you need to do is go along with me little plan now. What was he planning to do? I was to steal the ministry's telegraphic message logs, and McGilded would buy them for a handsome sum. And I was responsible for inspections of the ministry's communications office. It was a simple enough task. The lure of the devil's offerings. How easy it is to succumb. But you must surely have realized the seriousness of the crime you're committing. Well, yeah, no duh. And for that reason, I took great lengths to ensure that my actions were untraceable. By using the music box. My father was a brickmaker, though my mother divorced him when I was still a child. Yes, Mr. Mason Milverton. That's right. He was very skilled with his hands. He had once been a music box maker's apprentice. I imagine his skills would be sufficient to create a machine that could generate Morse code. So I sought out my father again. to employ his services. It was the first time I'd seen him since I left the slums 10 years earlier. Oh. 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 Look at you, Ashley. What a fine gent you become, eh? He is a different man to the one in my memory. A thin, frail old man. But poverty had never broken him. Never corrupted him like it had me. I was sure that he wouldn't help me if I told him the real reason. So I made up a story. I've got some work for you, Father. I need some music box discs made. Music box disc, eh? A musician friend of mine has written some music he wants to sell to the public. I brought the score with me. There are two, actually. I'd be delighted, son. It's been 20 years since I did any work like this, though. Fetch my tools, would you? They're in the loft. Oh, this just sucks. That's how I had to make the 2 discs. Thereby splitting the information in 2. You were taking considerable precautions indeed. It was to protect myself as much as anything. It meant that I could deal with McGilded in 2 separate transactions. The first involved the first of the 2 discs and the music box for playing them. I exchanged them with McGilded for 10 guineas. Then, on receipt of the second disc, he would pay 1,000 guineas. 1,000?! So, what happened on the omnibus 2 months ago was the second part of the deal. The exchange of the second disc. Yes. I'd sold the man information that way a number of times already, but it seems he became reluctant to part with his money. Oh, but that doesn't make quite sense, Mr. Graydon. For why it was on the omnibus 2 months ago. Your father, Mr. Milverton, was the one dealing with McGilded and not yourself. When I received 1,000 guineas after my first complete dealings with McGilded, I decided to give 200 to my father for his troubles. But my father realized something was amiss. In time, he worked out that I must be involved in something dubious. And when he did, he said to me, "Next time there's an exchange, you let your old man do it, understand? Otherwise, I won't take your money anymore." Oh, he was just looking out for him. No. Oh. That was my father's way of dealing with it, I suppose. Climb the omnibus, hand over the second disc, and take the money from McGilded. That's it. He had no idea what was actually on the disc I'd asked him to make. He never knew. Just like I'll never know why everything went so horribly wrong that night. All I know is that the disc was taken from him, and he never returned home. Oh. It was only then that I found out what sort of a monster McGilded really was. So after 10 years of not once uttering it, I swore on my father's name. To exact revenge. Oh! He was the one that hired the hitman! Or like, he caused McGilded's death! As anyone with even the remote knowledge of the man will no doubt be able to imagine. McGilded brought all his wealth and influence to bear, in the most despicable of ways, to crush any semblance of justice at his trial. The crime scene was tampered with, evidence was fixed, and witnesses were bribed. That trial 2 months ago was a farce from start to finish. My feet had barely touched British soil back then, and I walked into that hornet's nest completely unaware of the sinister background to it all. Yeah, you sure did. I need more water, guys. I'm sorry. Alright, I'm back. I just had to take a real quick water break. I'd made plenty of money out of my dealings with McGilded by then, so I spared nothing in my arrangements 2 months ago. I knew exactly who to hire. If you're willing to pay the price, there are people in this city willing to do anything you ask. McGilded himself had shown me that. Are you saying that, yeah, you hired a hitman? I think you have the picture now. After he twisted everything to favor his favor in his courtroom to ensure that he walked free, I took matters into my own hands and delivered the justice that monster deserved. He was the one that lit it on fire. That tragic accident following the trial here 2 months ago was planned and executed by yours truly. McGilda's death that day was caused by this man. Everything is ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. What's this, officer? Just sooner than I was led to believe. I was slightly inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule. And he was none the wiser. Well, I must be making tracks now. It's time for the inspection. They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself. So the policeman who came to tell McGilded he could examine the omnibus again. That's right. An imposter, hired by me. McGilded uses his wealth to manipulate the trial. He paid people to adulterate the omnibus with all manners of false evidence. He threatened witnesses to lie in their testimony. So I gave the man a taste of his own medicine. Once the omnibus was doused in paraffin, one of my sham policemen ushered Miss McGilded inside and set him on a one-way journey to hell. An eye for an eye. That's how I avenged my father's death. But then, why did you kill McGilded? Or not McGilded, Windibank. A spine-chilling account indeed. But that wasn't the end of it for me. There's a loose end, do you see? A loose end? Yes, I should think it's obvious. Oh, the second disc, which my father had taken to exchange with McGilded. Ah, yes. There was indeed no mention of it in the man's trial 2 months ago, clearly because it had been removed from the scene of the crime. When I realized it was missing, I remembered something. Something from the first time I dealt with McGilded. Oh? This is the first of 2 discs, and the music box you need to play them.
Well, look at that now. What an ingenious little invention. So then, as promised, 10 genies for ye, young man.
What's this? Windibank's pawnbrokery.
Aye, 'tis a pawnbroker's ticket, so it is. Ye can use it to redeem an article I've deposited there for ye. There's no need to give it a name. Give a name? Just hand over the ticket and tell the fiend the watchword. I put a jewel in pawn for ye. It'll fetch a good 10 guineas if ye sell it, so it will.
I've never heard of a pawnbrokery being used in quite that way before. Have you not, Mr. Graydon?
London's pawnbrokeries are very useful places, you know. Each one is like an extremely secure vault.
Oh, that's what Sholm said. Oh. So I knew that he'd taken steps to hide the disc. It would be in that pawnbrokery somewhere. And on that night he killed my father, he must have entrusted the ticket to someone. Yes, to Gina. I remember now. That's when we first met you at Windibank's that afternoon 2 months ago. You had a description of Miss Lestrade written down. How did you know who you were looking for? From the trial. That pickpocket's testimony was clearly peculiar. Anyone could see that. I realized immediately that she was another of McGilded's pawns. That he must have threatened her somehow. I was fairly convinced it would be her who had the ticket, so I started to make some inquiries. I had a strong suspicion that the girl would come out of the woodwork on the redemption deadline. And he was absolutely right. And yes, sure enough, she did. All I needed to do was wait until the girl went to the Windibanks to redeem the articles. But unfortunately, she redeemed only McGilded's overcoat and the 1 disc that was in his pocket. The all-important music box with the 2nd disc inside was missing, because it had already been forfeited 2 days earlier. But I was unaware of that fact. Had I not been, I could have avoided my nighttime excursion. Meanwhile, as our investigation into the stolen government secrets were progressing, we picked up on the fact that McGilded was involved. Oh! Inspector, you recovered so fast! My orders were to recover the stolen information as quickly as possible. So we started gathering the fellow's possessions and examining whatever we could lay our hands on. We had a full-scale investigation going on at the yard, but we had to keep it as quiet as we could. Then, when the inspector here took the disc from me in the pawnbrokery that day, I became nervous. I was sure the music box and the second disc were still there in this shop somewhere, so I knew that it was a race against time. I had to find those articles before the police did. So that's what prompted you to break into the place that same night. With the help of your old friends, the Skulkin brothers. Oh. What happened that night in the pawnbrokery? I can only describe as a nightmare. While Nash and Rinko were searching the counter, I'd located the music box I sold to McGilden on the shelves of forfeited articles. And the second disc goes inside. Yes, I slipped it into my pocket with a very deep sigh of relief. But then, something entirely unexpected happened. What are you doing in my shop? Oh. A gunshot rang out in the shop, and I felt a sharp pain in my left arm. The broker fired his gun, and the bullet pierced your limb. Yes, exactly. But unfortunately, I decided to bring my own gun with me that night, just in case. Yeah, he did have a gun. Oh. Poor guy didn't deserve it. This guy doesn't deserve it either, I'm gonna be real. Before I knew what was happening, I'd fired back. The man had already turned to flee. I hadn't intended to fire in his direction, much less kill him. But unfortunately for both of us, the bullet hit home. It struck him in the middle of his back as he fled through the storeroom door for refuge. A sorry, sorry tale. It all took place in the blink of an eye. I don't imagine Ash and Ringo even realized what had happened at first. I was terrified, so I fled. And that's the whole story. That's everything that happened at Windibanks on that wretched night. Oh. And that's the trial. Oh, it sucks. It just sucks all around. Neither of them deserved it, I don't think. Earlier, you called McGilden a monster. A man who used his wealth and influence to distort the facts and escape justice for the crime of murder. What tragic irony, for what you have done is exactly the same. Oh. You've become the very monster you saw and despised so deeply in McGilded. Oh. Yes, I think I have. Oh, poor guy. Well, this has been a long and exhausting trial. However, it would seem that at last we arrived at the truth. Inspector Gregson, one of Mr. Ashley Graydon, has been restrained, my lord, and is being escorted to the yard. He'll be charged with the murder of Mr. Windibank and the stealing of government secrets. Very good. And you, Inspector, regrettably, you'll have to face charges yourself. Yes, my lord. Of course. It transpires that you were complicit in helping a criminal escape justice. The fact remains whether or not you were doing so in line of duty. The crime is a serious one, Inspector, and inexcusable. Now to the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Ah, yeah?
It is time for the final education. Is the jury ready, Mr. Foreman? Yes, sir! Geared up squadron standing by, sir! This is really it now. The last push! The final call! The finishing whistle! My men are ready to deliver their verdicts. Hopefully they're all innocent. Thank you, Mr. Foreman. Very well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You will now declare your final decisions to the court.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
There we go. After a long and hard trial, justice is finally won.
Yeah! Ha ha ha! That's the stuff! I'm off the hook! Finally, Bruno! You managed to do it!
Finally is the word. I really wasn't sure if we'd come out on top for a while there. Yeah, me neither. It was a long trial.
Susie was right. You're the best lawyer in the world.
Miss Lestrade, I'm not finished with you yet.
Eh?
What? What are you looking at me like that for? Before you start enjoying your freedom, there are certain other crimes to consider,
Eh?
2 months ago, in my courtroom no less, you gave false testimony, did you not? And in relation to the trial today, not only did you unlawfully enter Winterbank's pawnbrokery, you also attempted to abscond with Mr. McGilded's property, it seems.
Eh?
Oh, she has to answer for that too.
I never done nothing of the sort!
Of course not. It's not like you were gleefully wearing McGilded's coat in your cell yesterday or anything.
Oh, and just when I was getting excited about throwing a party for Ginny this evening.
And turning our attention to the defense, determining that, when played together, the music box contained a message in Morse code was, well, it was certainly a most unexpected revelation, counsel. Quite so, my lord. The prosecution was caught entirely off guard. In fact, I think we should applaud my learned friend's courage here today. I propose a toast. Oh, he's doing it in our name! To demanding that government secrets be disseminated before the entire courtroom. Well, we did what we had to do! But very sorry about that. It was the only way that I could get Inspector Gregson to admit what he'd done, so... If I may say something on that point? Oh, it has to be at the drawer 5. Isn't that? It's, about the sounds produced by the music box before. I do wonder if that was really Morse code at all. What? What are you saying, madame?
Oh, well, it's just that I'm really rather fanatical when it comes to Morse code, you see?
So much so that the whole world seems to be covered in dots and dashes to me, in fact. Goodness, madame. An unhealthy level of obsession one feels.
But I must say that in my opinion, the sounds produced by those 2 discs
were nothing more than that.
a meaningless series of 2 different tones.
What? Can that really be? It wasn't Morse code after all? My lord, defense would like to listen to the music box again. Are you off your nuts? How many times do I have to tell you? Those discs contain little secrets, sunshine! This courtroom is not an appropriate forum to discuss the nature of the government communications. We know McGilded conspired to trade national secrets with our enemies, secrets acquired from Mr. Graydon. Now that the man has admitted to his crimes, we have no need to pursue the matter further. It's really going to bother me. Miss Lestrade.
Yeah, my lord?
That which you have seen today here in this courtroom has been extremely disturbing. Falsified evidence, intimidation, perjury, a grim catalogue of depravity. An appalling experience to befall any child. Yeah, and all of the name-calling she had to endure because everyone kept cursing her out for being poor. Come on, it ain't nothing I don't see most days in the back slums. I beg your pardon? If you're weak, you pay for it. That's just how life goes. Gina. But look, I reckon I've worked something out today. The world ain't fair, but if you want it to change, you gotta start at home. You gotta change how you are yourself. Oh? Well, that's a very laudable lesson, I would say. I eagerly look forward to the born-again Miss Lestrade never gracing my courtroom with her presence again. Oh, she's gonna work to better herself. Now, with regard to the murder of Mr. Pop Winterbank, the proprietor of a pawnbrokery business on Baker Street, I hereby declare the defendant Miss Gina Lestrade not guilty! Yay! Hell yeah! Good job, Lestrade! Oh, what is she doing? Oh, she had a firework. That is all. Court is adjourned. Oh, we did it! Oh, it's just these 2. Oh, a secret conversation. On a personal note, I must say you surprised me, my Far Eastern friend. Ah. Oh! Despite being a Nipponese, you saw through the pretense to the malice that festered within that Englishman, and at the same time saw through the grime to the surprising heart of your English client. You have a curious talent for judging character, especially considering our very different cultures. What's he doing? I don't think there's anything curious about it. Whether we're from the Empire of Great Britain or the Empire of Japan, we're all human beings. We're not so very different on the inside. You know, I took this case for one very simple reason. To lock swords with you once again, here in the courtroom. Oh? You did? When I encountered you for the first time 2 months ago, it reminded me of toasting friendship and trust with another Nipponese, only to find my trust betrayed. Through you, I hope to look into the eyes of the man I once knew, and try to understand. Oh, he wanted... I don't know. I feel like that's a odd way of trying to find closure. You mentioned something similar earlier today, about total betrayal at the hands of the Japanese. What happened exactly? I don't think he's at liberty to give you the details. Well, you may ask, and one day, when the time comes, you will learn the answer, whether you like it or not. Not right now, it looks like. Alright, then I'll wait for that day if I must. Coming to be known as the Reaper of the Bailey, from my retirement from services 5 years ago, it gives me cause to wonder if our meeting has some deeper purpose. How many chalices do you have? So farewell, my learned Nipponese fellow. Until we meet again. Looks like it's far from over. 17th April, 5:24 p.m. The Old Bailey. Defendant's Antechamber. Okay, let's try and finish this chapter and then we'll call it a night. It's done. It's over at last. But where's Cyrus disappeared to? Oh, Ginny! Ah! Congratulations, Gina. I knew it all along. I knew that you were innocent. Oh, back to her old self.
Well, you know what you said, Mr. Naruto.
You believed in me, right up to the end. You're as odd as your name. What's odd about it? I told you I had faith in you, didn't I? No one never asked before, see? Kept a promise, I mean, properly. That's awful. I figured something out today. All my life, growing up in the slums, I never trusted no one. But that's just because I've been scared of being stabbed in the back. I mean, the more you trust someone, the more it hurts when they let you down. Oh, yes, I think I can understand that. After all, I had a taste of that trial 2 months ago. I chose to trust someone and paid for it. That betrayal left a big scar. You know though, Gina, I worked something out quite recently too. Trusting in someone else is really an exercise in learning to trust yourself. And when your gut tells you it's the right thing to do and your trust is rewarded, there's no better feeling in the world. I think I have you to thank for reminding me of that valuable lesson.
Oh, well, if you say so. Do make a lot of sense to me, though.
I'm trying to say that putting my faith in you, Gina, has been a real pleasure. Aww. For crying out loud, pack it in! But I suppose I sort of feel the same way. I mean, sometimes trust in someone else is, you know, alright. Yay, Gina! Thanks. Oh, Kazuma! This is the way I see it, Ryunosuke. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. Kazuma, I miss you! After this experience, I'm starting to feel like I understand what you mean. Kazuma, am I living up to your expectations? Am I turning out to be the lawyer you believed I could be? Oh, pardon the interruption. Oh. But what the deuce does a man have to do be noticed around here, my dear fellow? Oh, Sholmes! I just realized he has the hair.
Ah, that voice.
It's too late for that voice now, Mr. Naruto. I've been standing here patiently in the corner of the room for an eternity. Seeing him so far away is so funny. Ha ha ha! Yes, it was me all along, I would have said when you finally noticed me. But you people, with your incessant blabbing!
Ah, Mr. Sholmes!
Ha ha ha! Yes, it was me all along! You see? Hi, Mr. Sholmes, what's up? I'd assumed you'd been taken back to the hospital, to be honest. Indeed I was, but I managed to escape again! That's bad for your health, buddy! Oh. I happen to be aware of one or two foibles of the doctor who was tending to me. I merely made my knowledge of them known to the man, and he happily issued me with a leave of absence. How very above board. But enough of my adventures. That was a fine victory, Mr. Naruto. Your tireless efforts justly rewarded, I feel. And congratulations are in order. As a close friend, I tip my hat to you. Oh, thank you.
Some great detective you are. Great at being cold as ice, maybe.
Have I irked you in some way, Miss Lestrade?
Well, you've been having a snooze in your nice soft bed. Some of us have been fighting for our lives.
Yeah. Well, that bullet did cause me to lose a substantial amount of blood. It's true. So I've indeed been feeling somewhat cold. Not perhaps cold as ice, but, well, have a feel. Huh? Could you take your hands out of off my neck, please, Mr. Sholmes? And, in some way, I suppose, congratulations are in order for you too, Miss Lestrade. What's that supposed to mean? Why so half-hearted? Well, naturally, it isn't my intention to alarm you, but an acquittal in trial with that particular prosecutor is perhaps a little precarious. Well done, Mr. Sholmes. Not alarming in the slightest.
Oh, the Reaper, you mean?
Because anyone who's found not guilty in a trial he was working on winds up dead anyway? Is that it? The very point I was trying to make. As exemplified by the fate of Mr. McGilden, in fact. Well, I mean, that was a hit caused by someone else. But of course, I paid no attention to such irrational drivel myself. Why'd you bring it up?
Yeah, well, it don't bother me.
Oh, really? Of course not. The way I see it, the Reaper is a bit like him upstairs. Huh? Him upstairs? You mean like God? Yeah, him upstairs knows what's what? He knows what people are like on the inside. He won't have gotten the wrong end of the stick. There's some coves like that bog shredder who are rotten to the core. At the end of the day, him upstairs makes sure they get what they deserve. I suppose that's one way of looking at it. Divine justice is one thing, though. Reaper taking matters into his own hands and claiming lives is another. Well, I ain't like the McGilden of this world, so I ain't scared. I got principles, eh? Haha. A trait in you which is to be admired, Miss Lestrade.
Oi! Just give it a rest, alright?
As I was saying, congratulations are in order. The news of your acquittal was very welcome news to me indeed. Let me express my heartfelt congratulations, Gina.
Well,
oh, there you are, Hurley.
There you are, Hurley! How long have you been? Honestly, I went to the main entrance especially to meet you there.
Iris, my dear. I do apologize. But wait until I tell you what happened. This pair made utter fools of themselves.
What happened?
As you know, I have a penchant for disguise. I was hiding in this room dressed as a bailiff. But these adults didn't notice my presence at all. Ah ha ha ha! They had no idea. Can you imagine, Iris? Would you credit it?
I'm not sure, really.
I beg your pardon?
I'm sorry, Hurley, but you just don't have the weighty presence you seem to think you have. In fact, you really ought to be careful about that. It's going to land you in trouble one day.
Oh! I'll be careful. Ouch.
Anyway, such a shame. I was so hoping to throw a party for Ginny tonight, but you won't be able to come, will you?
Yeah, you still gotta make up jail time. Don't look like I'm gonna be going nowhere for a while. You're at the druid's patter. I got stuff to make amends for, apparently. All of them offenses. What was it again? Breaking and entering, taking the bog trotter's stuff, what was in lug, blah blah blah. Yes, I think you'll find that basically being a pickpocket is the main offense. But diving ain't an offense. It's a job, ain't it? I don't think so. Still, it has got me thinking all this. Maybe I should start looking for another line of work. I mean, you didn't start off as a lawyer, did you, Odo? Well, no, but I was never a pickpocket. Oh, shoot. Well, anyway, I reckon I can make a change. I'm gonna do something for all of them like me from the slums. Something that ought to make a difference for them.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea, Ginny, and I'm sure you can do it.
Hehehe. Oh, she's happy.
What is it?
Oh. Nothing. Miss Gina Lestrade! The prison carriage has arrived, ma'am. Come with me to the rear gate at once. Oh, bye, Gina. Right. Well, looks like I'm off then. Yes, goodbye, Gina. And good luck. Oh, bye, Gina. Odo? Yes? Oh, one more for the road. Ah! What was that for? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say, so... Ah, indeed. Perhaps the situation calls for a phrase hitherto missing from your vocabulary, Miss Lestrade. Eh? On occasions such as this, I would recommend a simple thank you.
Oh. Oh, yes! It's good advice, Ginny.
Come on, Ginny. Come on, Gina. Right. I see. Well, you can do it. Thanks, Odo. Oh, Gina! Oh my god, I love Gina so much. Oh, Gina! Oh, thank you for everything, what you've done, for believing in me. Oh, I love her so much, Gina. Not at all. In fact, that should be my line. Thank you, Gina. Oh my god! Oh. Well, there she goes. I wonder if I'll ever see her again. Well, quite the indomitable pick purse.
Oh, I nearly forgot. I brought a paper outside. It's a special edition, and this trial is all over the front page. Pickpocket's innocence proven. Isn't it wonderful?
You should have shown it to Gina, Iris. She would have been thrilled. Oh.
Oh no, how silly of me. Ah, but anyway, would you like the good news or the bad news?
Not again.
Well, what do you say, Bruno? Hurley?
As usual, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. Yeah, bad news first. Absolutely not. I have no intention of listening to anything but good news.
And there you have it. How people answer that question says a lot about them, doesn't it?
Let's not go there.
Alright then, maybe let's start with the good news this time. The rain has finally stopped. It was a record level of rainfall, apparently.
Well, that's good news indeed. We can journey back in greater comfort. Alright then, what's the bad news?
A huge storm had left the seas very choppy. The channel in particular is awful, so sailings out of Dover have been delayed by a day or more.
Wait, Dover?
That's right! If we head to the station immediately, we may still make it in time to wave Susie off!
Yo, Susato! Oh, Susato was instrumental in this trial. Also, I love Susato. But there won't be a train, surely? We couldn't be that lucky. Who do you think I am, Mr. Naruto? Mr. Sholmes? I rushed to Victoria Station earlier and made arrangements for a special express. If we hurry now, we shall be there in time for dinner. Oh, let's go! And I know of a fine restaurant that serves the most delicious baked sole. The great detective does it again! Indeed he does. I happen to be aware of a number of the rail transport director's follables. What? I merely made my knowledge of them known to the man, and he happily laid on the locomotive. Elementary! You bribed him? Just an idea, but it might be wise to stop manipulating people that way.
What are we waiting for then? To London, Victoria!
Let's go, let's go, let's go! Oh. Oh, it's late at night. How long did it take? Oh no, it's 5 a.m. That's why. Port of Dover, Queenside. That took somewhat longer than I anticipated.
Susie's boat must be about to leave now.
Mrs. Otto, where are you? Is it gonna pan over and she's over there? Oh! Over there! Look! Looks like she's reading something.
Hold it!
Oh! Oh, don't throw that into the sea! Mrs. Otto, wait! What are you doing? Mr. Naruhodo, what are you doing here? We came as soon as we could after the trial. I mean, we heard that sailings were being delayed due to the bad weather, you see. Oh, I see. Then, tell me, how did Gina's trial go? It went well. She was acquitted. Let's go! It was thanks to you, Susato! Oh, Susato! Oh my god! That's wonderful. Really wonderful news. Oh... The book you were about to throw into the sea. It was your Encyclopedia of British Law, wasn't it? Oh dear. I was hoping you hadn't seen that. I'm not worthy of practicing law in any way now. So, I was saying my final farewell. No, what do you mean? You had a good reason to do it, I'm sure. You're saying goodbye to law. You, Susato-san. Would I be correct in assuming it's because of the peephole, Miss Susato? It was. I deliberately altered the scene of a crime, and then I tried to hide the fact. What I did is utterly unforgivable.
That reminds me. How did you even come to have this, Susie?
How did you?
On the evening of the incident.
Mr. Sholmes had invited Gina to dinner, if you remember. Oh, she pickpocketed? Oh.
Oh yes, we had a wonderful time.
Well, Gina gave us a little introductory lesson, didn't she? To the art of pickpocketing, I mean.
Oh, that was so much fun. I stole Runa's armband.
Yes, please don't do that again, Iris. That band's very important to me.
Well, if it's so important, you should pay more attention to it. You didn't notice for ages.
On a whim, I thought it would be fun to see if I could take the cat flappomat, so I put it up my sleeve.
Really?
And then I rather forgot about it, until I found myself at Windabank's shop with it later that night. I see. And then... Bang! Ah! Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes! Leave me, Naruhodo? Right. Oh... After Mr. Naruhodo left the shop, I started to think. That door started to play on my mind. The storeroom door, you mean? Yes. If Gina was anywhere in the shop, I realized it could be only behind that door. And at that moment, the little device I had up my sleeve sprang to mind. I was so worried about Gina. I simply had to know. Oh, she wanted to check on her. So, you used the cat flappomat to make the peephole in the door.
Oh, as captured in a photographic print of the shop by one of Hurley's red-handed recorders.
Indeed, it was one of the first importance, that point. Precisely when the peephole was made, that information would prove to be Mr. Naruhodo's greatest weapon. Though naturally, without proof, it would have amounted to nothing. But when I looked through the hole in the door... Oh... The sight that met my eyes made my blood run cold. Yeah, she wasn't expecting there to be a dead person over there. Thoughts started to run through my mind. I remembered that trial 2 months earlier. The trial of Magnus McGilded. I thought about how he manipulated the evidence and arranged false testimony to secure his freedom. It made the British justice system feel very dark and sinister to me. And then, a terrible thought occurred to me. What if What if some wicked criminal was planning to do the same thing now? Oh, because from the appearance of the crime scene, it looked exactly as though Gina had shot Mr. Windibank. Even though I was sure she would never have done such a thing. You were worried that the true culprit would try to frame her for the crime. That's right. But then I realized it would be very difficult for anyone to give false testimony in this case. What do you mean? Well, the crime appeared to have happened behind the door of a locked room. Were someone to claim falsely to have witnessed it, there would have been a way to see beyond that door. Oh, the people! For which? A people would be the very thing. Only the people I had made wasn't actually there until after the crime had been committed, of course. And the criminal would know that, so it wouldn't make any difference. But the possibility of a rather ingenious trap was there, was it not? A trap? Is that why she did it?
So, is this why you kept it a secret, Susie? You never mentioned that you made the people to anyone, not even the police.
I know, and I knew at the time that what I was doing was wrong. A criminal offense, even. That's why I decided to confide in Mr. Sholmes. If Mr. Naruhodo was completely backed into a corner, with no other possible means of escape, the truth about the people could save him. That was my plan. She was thinking of us. She really does think of everything. I need another sip of water. Alright. But then, why didn't you just tell me everything before the trial began? My dear fellow, you're not thinking straight. If she had done that, it would have rendered you complicit in the whole escapade. You could have been disbarred if you'd been seen to have knowingly tampered with the crime scene, so Mr. Zato decided to shoulder the burden of the responsibility alone. For your sake, Miss Lestrade's. Mr. Zato. Oh. The truth is, when it happened, I did it because I lost a little of my faith in the law. Oh. Oh. I was worried that the right person wouldn't be convicted of the crime. But the moment I allowed myself to think that is the moment I lost my right to call myself a judicial assistant. No, you didn't, Zato. I think it's perfectly fine to be skeptical, you know? What you did isn't comparable to what he did. Graydon is the one who lied in the witness stand, using that people as a way to implicate Gina. Besides, if the people inconsistency hadn't existed, I'm not at all sure that she would have been acquitted in the end. Mr. Zato, what you did saved Gina's life. Hell yeah, it did! Well, with your kind words, Mr. Naruhodo. You've saved me too, from my regrets. Oh, Susato! Well, we must all be thankful that Miss Lestrade's freedom has been assured. Yes, exactly. Although some of the loose ends in that trial will continue to play on my mind, I'm sure. But the revelation that the music box disc contained secret messages, Naruhodo! What a triumphant... What? Right, hi! Oh god. Oh, my throat is dying on me, guys, but we gotta finish this! Oops. What a triumph to work that out! I'm full of admiration! Well, actually, that argument wasn't quite as compelling as I thought it was. Oh, it wasn't? There was a communications officer among the jury members, you see, a telegraph operator, and she said that the majority of the sounds on the disc were just meaningless tones. As one would expect. After all, we are talking about secret government communications. No doubt they were written in cipher to avoid being readily understood should they have been intercepted. In cipher? I see. So then, we could have never hoped to understand the message anyway. Nonsense, my dear fellow! It's quite a zero-pipe problem, I assure you. Oh, is that Iris? Oh, she's deciphering it! Oh my god!
Sogi?
A Sogi? What the?
Well, that can't be a real word, can it? How funny. How funny.
Wait, Iris, what did you just say?
Oh, I just said Asogi.
Yeah, it's Kazuma's first name.
Does that word mean something to you?
Means something. Asogi was the name of my best friend.
What?
But how? How do you know that name, Iris? Oh, she wrote it down!
I wrote it down during the trial before, when the message was playing on the music box.
She just transcribed it on the fly? She really is a genius!
I thought the message probably wouldn't be written out in plain Morse code, so I tried various ways to interpret. But whatever I tried, the words just didn't seem to make any sense. That is, in English at least.
It was in Japanese!
Oh! It suddenly occurred to me, you see. There's more than one Morse code, not just the English variety. Various countries around the world have altered and added Morse code to use it in their own languages.
I don't believe it! Are you saying...
That's right. I've only actually seen a chart of Japanese Morse code once before, but I think it's based on the Iroha pentagram, isn't it?
And you mean to say that in Japanese Morse code, the message says Asogi?
Yes, I think so. Sorry, but I don't remember all of the Japanese Morse code.
Iris, would you let me see that? Miss Osato, do you know it? Do you know Japanese Morse code? Yes, I spent some time studying it. Bro, she knows?
Because I'm quite sure Morse code will become ever more important for international communications.
Then I might recommend, my dear madame, that you focus your efforts on the English version.
Be that as it may,
Iris, show me the message, please.
Of course.
Alright, what you got? What you got? But what could this possibly mean? Whatever it is in that long sequence of supposedly meaningless dots and dashes has made the colors rain from Susato's face. There's no doubt that this message is written in Japanese Morse code. So the British Empire has been using Japanese for its secret communications? I don't understand the reason why, but the message appears to be a list of 4 people's names. 4 people? 4 names, I mean? The first is Kei Asogi. Kazuma Asogi. Why? Why was his name on that disc? The second is A. Shin. Shin? I don't recognize that name. The third is T. Gregson. Oh, it's Gregson. Gregson. Gregson? Ah, it would seem Tobias Gregson is the third man on the list. And what's his name doing in a secret government communications as well? With Kazuma, no doubt.
And the last name?
Who is it? Who is it? Mikotoba. It's just so strange. So unexpected.
Oh, what is it, Susie? Don't keep us in suspense.
Last name is J. Wilson.
What?
Wilson?
John H. Wilson? You mean Daddy?
What's up?
It says only J. Wilson, so I'm afraid I can't be sure.
Then, after the 4 names, it reads, if I translate from Japanese, that is all 4. And that's the end of the message. Or rather, the end of what you noted down, Iris. What does that mean? What does that mean? I just can't believe it. Who would ever have thought that those discs contain Japanese Morse code? Not to mention a strange list of some disturbingly familiar names. It would appear that this particular message is communication of some kind between Great Britain and the Empire of Japan.
So, Daddy could be in Japan then. Where Susie and Runo come from?
Oh, Iris, I have some unfortunate news.
Well... No, it's not very likely really, is it? I mean, there are thousands of people with the surname Wilson. There must be lots of J's among them.
Iris, I have some really unfortunate news for you. Professor John H. Wilson, visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University. But we can't tell Iris about that now. We just can't. This is so strange. Somehow, in solving the case of Mr. Windibank's murder today, I feel like I've rolled back a boulder at the mouth of a very dark cave. I do wonder If perhaps it's a dark cave that we shouldn't go wandering inside. Oh, Susato, you gotta go! Oh, my Susato! Oh dear, the ship is going to set sail soon. Yes, it seems so. I'll sail on that steamship first to the port of Dunkirk in France. Then I'll change onto a larger passenger vessel bound for Japan.
You're really going then, Susie?
We wish you a safe passage, Miss Susato. Oh, Aimi kotoba. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best. Miss Susato, I had hoped you will always be by my side to guide me and support me. Mr. Naruhodo, please, come back soon. As far as I'm concerned, you really are the very best judicial assistant in the world. Oh, Susato, come back. I'm quite sure. I'll be back before you know it.
Really, Susie?
Oh, now don't forget, Iris. I made you a promise I've yet to fulfill.
A promise? About your manuscript? Oh,
Oh yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles. Yeah, how did she know?
I'll be waiting for you then, Susie. A promise is a promise.
Definitely, Iris. Oh, Susato. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? You remember the first time we met? Yes, of course. On the SS Buria, when I was dragged out from that wardrobe still half asleep. If I remember rightly, you threw me halfway across the cabin with the Susato takedown. You know very well I'm talking about after that. It's strange, but being thrown together as we were in that case, I somehow felt straight away that you were the perfect person to continue Kazuma-sama's great legacy. Miss Susato. And my instincts were right. I really want to believe. No, I'm sure that I'll be back soon. Farewell until then. Oh, goodbye, Mikotowa. Thank you for all of your hard work. Oh, cussing we good. Oh, you're still streaming? Yup. We were so close to the end that I'm forcing my throat through the rest of this game.
We seem to have come to the end of the adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Oh,
For the first
Mikotowa.
time, at least. Looking back now, it
Hydrate,
feels as
hydrate.
though
Yeah, I
fate
got you. I got
has
you.
led me on this journey. Fate led me to becoming a lawyer, to traveling halfway around the world, to meeting the great detective.
Don't worry.
I'm sure
I got
there'll be
it. I got
trials
your
and
hydrate moment. Oh,
tribulations
do it
ahead.
again? Yeah, I'll do it with
Of
my
course there will.
mic muted.
But whatever happens,
Oh,
I know I'll be able to turn my fortunes around.
oh, he's playing his violin.
After all, I have the greatest friends in the world on my
Yo,
side.
look at this guy! Look at him go! I'm so glad to have been playing this game. Huh? Oh, we're not done yet? Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, Mr. Sholmes? I have some rather awkward news. The railway company has decided to sue over the special express train, apparently. Huh?
They caused such a commotion on the line. All other trains had to wait at all stations.
Oh, guys, what did you do? But really, we would have never made it to Dover in time otherwise. Anyway, I explained everything, and how it was all your fault. What? Sholmes! Huh? Huh? I believe a formal complaint should be delivered to your office tomorrow. But not to worry, my dear fellow. According to Miss Susato.
You love defending yourself.
Guys! How could you do this to me? Huh? Huh? Huh?
It's alright, I'm perfectly happy to testify. He really didn't look like the sort of man who'd do something so outrageous. See? Iris! No! What did you guys do?
Mr. Sholmes. Yes? A word, if you don't mind. Why, certainly. Any word you like. Bellow it out, my dear fellow.
Oh yes, I love Bruno's words. And I know just the one he'll use here.
Then, I really must say...
Objection!
Let's go! Look at him go! Look at him go! Director and scenario planning shoot Takami. We hit the end of the game. We did it! Or at least the first half of it anyway, because there's a second half to this game. Oh, in the following weeks, hundreds of music boxes arrived at Baker Street from all over Europe. Something was afoot. Though it transpired I had ordered them all myself. So I advertised them for sale, but used by Mr. Sholmes to solve an important case. And the money I've earned? Consulting detective work pays a pittance by comparison. Oh, look at this guy. He's so good. I love Mr. Sholmes. Oh, Iris.
Aw, I haven't slept a wink. This manuscript is due tomorrow now. When I'm this busy, Hurley usually cooks me breakfast. Well, cooks isn't an overstatement, except for some dry toast and insipid coffee. I do miss Susie and her lovely Japanese breakfast.
Oh, that was good. I love this game. I'm so excited to play more and to destroy my throat in the process. Oh, this guy. Witness, your testimony is riddled with contradictions. Oh, these guys. Exactly. Rarely do rare Koban coins hide under rare sticks themselves. Well, I don't know, Sedo's father is an innocent man. Are you calling my son a liar? Witnesses, my courtroom is no place for your petty arguments. Hello, judge from Japan. The very first trial. Oh, and the second chapter. Having delivered the Russian dancer to shore in Shanghai, I laid low on steam shift for a while. But last night, I apprehended an extremely suspicious Japanese national on board. Oh, Soseki! I've done nothing wrong. All I did was give Agahai's offers. Oh, I didn't finish. A man brings some kittens on board and suddenly he's a hardened criminal. It's not fair. Oh, Soseki! Soseki is so good. I love him. I hope he comes back. Hello, Soseki. Oh, Strongheart! Scientific investigation will be the gold standard for policing in the new age. I dream of a world governed by the tenets of order and discipline. Like a great clock, in fact, whose hundreds of parts mesh together in perfect unison. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have but 2 minutes and 37 seconds until my next appointment. This dude is cool. He showed up for like 2 chapters, but he was cool. Oh, Gregson! The latest Ross magazine is out, and I'm in it again. Whenever I say that one line she wrote now, I get a standing ovation. Wanna hear it? Not bad, I suppose, for an amateur. Oh, look at him go. Her ladyship puts me to shame. Oh, and this is in Windibank's shop. Poor guy. He didn't deserve any of that. Wonder if I'll get to see Van Zeeks. Oh, this guy! I'm visiting the old girl on a daily basis, of course. Joanne, my old jailbird. Must say, battling with those bally stairs every day has done wonders for this Dicky Peg. Managing rather well with the housework, too. Got this maid business taped up, I'd say. Hope the gossiping neighbors don't realize the man of the house is his own maid. Oh,
it's the couple! My Raleigh's back on the beat again! All thanks to the Reaper!
There's nothing I enjoy more these days than hunting out small change in the gutter. I've a better Bobby now, looking for Londoners. drop their pennies at my lovely wife. Oh, Pat. Oh, Raleigh. Oh, look at these two. Are we just going over all the characters again? I wonder if I'll get to see the woman that got stabbed in the back. Oh, Gina! Looks like I'm gonna be doing time for a bit now. But Iris comes every day for a natter, so it ain't too boring. She's always going on about all them cases what Sholmes is looking into. Criminal investigations are kind of interesting when you get into them. Is she gonna become a detective? I hope she does. They look too young to be married. They look... Well, I mean, I don't know. My guy looks too young to be a police officer, that's for sure. Oh, Ashley! Yes, I renounced my upbringing and chose a life of sophisticated crime. But regrets? Please. Oh! Give over, bruv! That ain't the Ash we used to know! I got time in here to plan the comeback of Bibbleton and Skulkin's milk run again, right? Oh, he's roaming with these guys? Oh, we must go what's it? Oh, I love these guys too! They're all sharing a cell together? That's so funny! Oh, I'm back in the office. Oh, Susato! These past 6 months have been a time I shall remember forevermore. Painful goodbyes and wonderful encounters. I've come to realize that that's what life's all about. Naruhodo-san, I promise. Your assistant will return to you one day. But for now, I leave you in a heartfelt wish that life will treat you well. Okay. Are they gonna start a milk company? I hope they do. Oh my god! Oh my god, look at them! Oh, look at them, and there's Wagahai too. Oh, I love this cast of characters so much. Hopefully, that's the end of this part. Oh! Kazuma! Is the other guy the one that died? It's the guy with the headband. He's walking off. He's walking. Alright, that's the... That's gonna be the end of the stream. Thank you guys for stopping by. I gotta go rest my throat now. I'll see you guys later. Oh, hopefully there's nothing after this credit scene. Bye bye. Have a good night, guys.